安安，哎咻，哎，安，不然你打的那是什么啊？
哦，还有个塞马斯。
哦，不是，它都粘在一起，我就没有，我还以为它是要打字，结果没有切输入法，你知道吗？咖啡安安，今天要来澳抽奖，希望是红的，我缺一颗红的。
我的位置好像取颗套了，红套，
太爽了！但拜托，今天希望他们不要搞到太晚。
太晚。可是，如果以往都1个小时的话，有可能会超过2个小时吗？
不是啊，但是没有啊，不会，应该是不至于到2小时啦。但我是希望他们不要超过1个半小时啦。给我30分钟的缓冲时间，好不好？等整点记得 F， 要挂官方台。对啊，不是挂这里啊，挂这里没有套哦。你后面事后来找我要东西是没有的哦。这里没有掉宝哈，要掉宝要去官方台哦。
啊，他只有开退区吗？官方台啊，
只有开退区。你是说有在其他平台直播吗？
其他地方实况吗
YouTube 也有吧？那你要掉宝，你就一定要来退区啊。
啊 ，Steam 呢
？Steam 没有。
哦。
它那个掉宝是只有退取才有的，
只有退取的掉宝。
Steam 的只有 TurnOn 的时候才拿得到。
啊，因为它是用退取 drop。
对，虽然 TurnOn 也是用退取 drop 拿的，可是他们不知道是要好心还是怎样，反正就是看那个 Steam 也有。
开其他
没有，就是只有 Steam 能拿到东西的只有 Steam 跟 Twitch，、没有其他平台。其他平台会直播，但没有碉堡可以拿，因为平台没有相关的系统。怎么没有套？有啦，有套啦。也很会选时间呢，他们怎么不选礼拜6的凌晨？这样子我们可以在民宿里面看。那偏偏就选礼拜5的凌晨，哎呀，会挑时间呢。礼拜6凌晨不好吗？跨平台存档这边 PS、PS5，那个色票。一路会清空，稍早想到就顺便提一下。你说色票是那个吗？改颜色那个？其实应该说不是跨平台存档的问题，老实讲，因为你说的那个配色的那个色票会清空啊，电脑这边也是，因为它的档案好像不是存账号的。它的档案是存在你的游戏档案里面，因为之前只要我去登别台电脑，我配色我自己存的那个色卡也会消失，就是要自己重新存那个喜欢的颜色。所以我那个时候就有想，那他们应该那个色卡不是存在账号资料里面，它色卡是存在你的那个游戏档案里面的。就是你的色卡，然后你的设定档那些的，就是你的画面啊、动态模糊等等的设定档那些，它应该是跟那些包在一起的。所以你换一台电脑，你的设定档就会全部跑掉重来，包括你存的色卡也会全部重来。所以我觉得应该不是跨平台存档的问题，纯粹就是你换了一台机子，那台机子没有你的设定档。PS5 下载 PS4 版本其实会直接捞回先前的色票，所以主这边不是房主房版本账号。你在 PS5 下载 PS4 版，你在 PS5 下载 PS4 版，可是你这样它不是还是在同一台主机里吗？除非你之前没有载过。不然的话，它不是还是在同一个主机，那这样它就捞得到设定档啊。至少我 PC 是之前是这样子啊，这是我的经验跟感觉。因为之前太多次，有的时候去用笔电玩的时候，也会这样。
2023. Interesting group of folks
over
there.
That's some stowaways. Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Carrie.
看 Megan 的后面有一把弧电正指出。
The circus is in town. Yeah.
We have a lovely bunch of people on this couch, so why don't we just get right to with introductions that I forgot to do during 10:05. Let's find out. Who are you, sir? Oh.
Alright. Let's go. Hi, I'm Jeff. Hi, Steve. Hi.
Megan. Hi. We work on a couple different games, but at the same time
digital extreme
together,
games.
we work at digital extremes, making games, and we are going to talk. You did. I know. I know.
I worked hard on those broken mods. Sorry, spoilers.
We'll get to that. Before we jump into what is probably going to be a bit of a longer stream, I'm not going to lie. We're going to try our best to keep it. I told you 1 hour ago exactly that it might be a long stream. We might be here just for maybe a bit over an hour, but we'll see. Get comfortable, get your snacks, get your hydration. We will be on the test build today. We are going to be showing off, as we mentioned.
我看到，他们旁边的桌子上面放着今年 QTCC 的产品
Dagoth.
那个娃娃是那个吧？
Dagoth.
伯明克吗？
We'll find
Luckily,
out.
in-game pronouncement is.
Luckily,
然后旁边有
Graham will
杯
pronounce
子
it correctly for us.
所以今年的周边的娃娃是那一只，然后杯子是，然后会有个杯子，那应该是保温杯吧。然后旁边那个不知道是
It's actually
牌子还是什么蛙哥的，
stream today, so we'll have this stream and
左
then
右
we'll
边
have
都
one
有，
later
不知道
on
是
with
牌子还是
myself
什
as
么。
well. So you'll see me twice, myself and Zach.
You're just gonna do it straight because this
Yeah,
one's
I'm
gonna
just
go.
gonna stay here. I'm not moving. The Twitch drop for today's stream is a bag of Tau Forged Archon shards. Not only could you get one, you could.
哎，等一下，我现在才发现，
I don't know if that's
蒂夫居然来回来参加，哎，
What could be a 2-hour stream, you deserve 2 Tau Forged Archon
Exactly.
shots. It's a grab bag, so you don't know what one you're gonna get.
Exactly. There's obviously the 3 that you know.
对啊，史蒂夫怎么跑回来
And
了？
you're gonna get 2 of those for.
If you watch the whole time.
If you watch the whole time, start to finish, you will get 2.
You're trapped with us.
Yeah.
Now, is
啊，
it
对了，大家记得 F5重整一下哈，要确定那个碉堡有开始跑哦。
no? Okay.
Don't know what
Is it,
you're
there's, is that a glove or like I can't
It's a
quite.
state. It's a style.
那个
state.
抱歉哈，我
Really?
重
So
整一
it's
下。
like a They gave away how.
确定一下，它碉堡有跳出来。
Megan
Prime
on
time?
prime time.
Yeah.
It is also the gossip stream apparently.
But has it been said on a dev stream?
No, because it happened between DevCon and now. So
Okay.
Would you like to tell people?
No, I don't think it's important.
just don't.
You were so you're so focused on Warframe as a thing
Yeah.
that you had to break it doing something with Warframe.
Yeah, Limbo is my favorite Warframe. And I was doing the Limbo dance, and I fell. And I broke my wrist and tore my ligament.
Makes sense.
No one can say you're not dead.
You already won.
I had a.
Which is a big finale.
The story is that you already won.
看右上角也可以啦，只是我觉得重整是比较保险的，所以我觉得都会直接重整。
And I'm looking forward.
反正都要花时间去看，重整也不用花太多时间，我就直接 F5戳一下就好。
Anyway, we only have an hour, my friends.
Yeah, go, 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 go,
Moving
Megan.
right along.
都可以，只要有确定有开始累积进度就好，不要到时候发现哎，什么进度条卡着没有在动。
We have a ribbon cipher and a melee ribbon because in this update we have 2 new melees coming. I didn't even plan that. Hey, so maybe subconsciously.
Good
I did.
segue, yeah.
Thank you. And obviously it's September 28th right now, but September 30th will mark the 3rd year that Canadians observe National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. The day honors the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis survivors of the residential school system. And Digital Extremes recognizes this day and has actually donated towards the Atlausa Family Healing Services located here in London. And they provide Indigenous mental wellness programs, 24-hour emergency women's shelter, and so much more. So if you do feel inclined to donate during this time, you can do !truth in Twitch chat and donate. So we thank you in advance.
Yes, thank you.
All right, like
we
we
can do
mentioned at
that.
the top of the hour, TennoCon 2023 happened.
Yeah.
How do we feel? It's been a month?
It's been exactly
It's
a month.
crazy that
It's been
doesn't-
only one
Yeah.
month. August 28th was TennoCon 2023. It is September 28th. It's been 1 month.
The big lesson I learned is that we don't need to go all out for TennoCon anymore and just let Pablo show a quality of life slide.
And say hydrate and rework?
I've never heard a crowd pop.
The Hydra reworks. Yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how do we follow that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. 6 months grind on Soulframe, and it's like, here's a quality of life slide. Well, let's give the people what they want.
It's true. But really, how are we feeling? 1 month after, we're back at the grind, like we're back in it again. How are we feeling?
Amazing.
Really,
Yeah.
really good. You always get
Yeah.
super scared and anxious for those days, and then it just goes like that. You get to meet so many people. It's great to feel really old when someone says, I started playing when I was in high school, and
Oh
now
my
I have a
God.
career. And I'm like, oh, God! Just withering away before them. But yeah, the in-person is such a different energy. I love it so much.
It's so good for the studio to go through that again.
Yep.
Because it took so many years.
We had new people that were just, in the crowd experiencing the outpouring of energy and love and appreciation for what they did. So it's great for adrenaline and great for morale for everyone.
Yeah, I think there was some highlights for sure. Like for me, it was probably my favorite TennoCon ever, just because we got to do so.
Every time I look at the screen, you were crying.
I
You had a
cried that
microphone in
day.
your hand. You're just like, ah! Like tears of joy, but you're just like crying. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened?
It's just a lot. It's a lot of good feelings and the team together and the community together. And I know Danielle was happy that we had gummy worms this year, and I knew that for me, from my point of view, getting the gummy worm. Oh no! I wanted to catch
Did you
it.
two plan that?
Yeah. I didn't catch
Maybe
it.
you should have told Megan. Oh my God.
Are you jealous? Do you want to bet?
If I get
哦，
hit
这
in
是
the
他
head.
们
Maybe.
他
I don't know.
，Danny
们
throw it
跟
again. Oh my
食
god.
品厂合作出的零
Get out of
食
here. Oh, you have one in your hat?
I got lots of tricks up my sleeve.
It's kind of warm and ugh, I'm not sure I like this.
Yeah, but yeah.
我有去参加那个抽奖，完美抽。
I don't even know how to proceed.
Volman Voss crawlers too.
like
That's
I'm
so
gonna die.
hilarious.
We had a.
本来想说
a
可不
really
可以
great,
拿个
like,
一包
honestly,
回
so
来
buzzing
看看
from
到底
it.
是什么
I'm
东西。
so happy that we got to show what we're working on, and we're going to spend the rest of the year. Like today, we're going to talk about the Dagoth update. What's coming in October, and we're really going to deep dive into that update. We probably have over an hour of things to talk with you guys about in the community for that update. Favorite TennoCon ever for me. You know, really fun to see everyone. The team is the biggest it's ever been, and we're working on more than we've ever been working on. I was very happy. I think the only thing that could have made it a perfect TennoCon is if we didn't have the heirloom situation go as it did. So I'm just kind of going to speak from the heart here on that. For me, that was really the only thing that I wish we handled a lot differently. And for, you know, if we continue with the heirloom program next year, we are going to be making pretty radical changes based on feedback. You know, the skins visually people love, but the way we rolled them out really missed the mark for a lot of people. So we did make some changes, and we will next year for next year's TennoCon. If we do an heirloom V2, we absolutely are going to be pretty radical changes for, you know, how we're going to release those. So if that hadn't had the reaction it did, it would have been a perfect day, but obviously we make mistakes. I'm not saying that, you know, holistically everything with heirlooms was a mistake, but there was clearly some things that just did not make people happy. And the adjustments we did make, honestly, we gave our reasoning in the forum post about how we felt we could fix things and still honor the promises of what people actually bought. So from there, that's, you know, V1 heirloom. Next year will be V2 heirloom once we get ourselves in a position to commit to it and decide if we think the community would like a complete refresh of the pack and skins for a different batch next year, I should say. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I can see in chat people talking about FOMO, but also like people
感谢追
obviously love the
随
skins themselves. They're just amazing.
Well, that's the thing,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
that's why, you know,
And
yeah, it's
so I think it's just tuning that stuff, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. I knew it was coming when the vessel was there. I knew it was coming, and then the music kicks in.
We're back to the demo. Okay, we're back to the demo.
just-
Okay.
oh, yeah,
What do you mean?
and just
You
moving
knew it was
there.
coming. You didn't warn me.
And then the 9 Inch Nails, and I was just like, oh, because everyone was loving it, but I was just you wait, just you wait. Yep.
The biggest scheme of.
Yep. And then
Bait and
obviously Megan killed it with the playthrough, which is always a huge amount of pressure.
Megan, I
And,
mean, Danny, throw that trophy for me.
I can't see, so I don't know. Like,
Throw
what's
that
happening.
javelin.
Got that sword?
Some people think that they're watching a video and they're not. Like we always try to show you the game. We always show you the real stuff. A lot of people thought the Soul Frame was like a video edit, and it wasn't. It was Sarah and Joey playing it live, and then just the amount of rehearsal, as you know, and people are tuning it and changing the demo and tweaking it, and you're like, you know, don't look left when you're supposed to look right, and all that shit. It's just, it's intense.
Yeah.
Maybe someone sent you a lot of notes about Grimoire and what you could and could not do. Don't sprint those straight. Don't do it.
Oh my God.
When you have it, don't move. Don't look when you move. And I'm like, what?
Doing a good demo is almost like sort of being an actor. Like go in here, then walk,
you got your
then
beats.
casually look right, but don't look right too fast, because then
Poor
people will
Meg.
think you're anticipating it.
Yeah.
And the same thing, like Soul Frame, obviously with the smaller team, and the last minute was like we were saying to Joey, like, don't hit Garen when he's doing a special attack, or you'll break his entire animation set.
Needless to say, all of these games are ready to ship, and none of these concerns are real.
Sweat.
Yeah, it's
Sweat.
fine.
Yeah, it was a great day. we'll, buckle up for next year, but we have a lot of things in between.
A lot of great things.
This is going to be a
that
long
we are
stream already.
excited
We're already, what, 11 minutes in? Stop! Go, go, go.
I'm not off TennoCon yet.
No.
One thing we also did, obviously we were celebrating 10 years. We also teamed up with King's Coast Coffee to do WARFRAME Lotus Blend Beans.
Let me smell those
Wait a
beans.
second.
those
Wait a
beans.
second. I didn't know this.
There you go.
I want some coffee.
No.
You could. Hand-picked.
Wait, are you opening it?
咖啡？
Yeah, that's open, yeah.
My boss told me to.
How do I smell the beans?
You gotta rip it open.
I can't. My hands
而这个袋子这么蓬，怎么感觉像爆米花啊？
No,
Whip it at me.
no,
I'll catch it with my broken
I
hand.
refuse. I refuse. You've already got one
We
broken hand.
collaborated with
I have
King's
no
Coast
idea.
Coffee
So
for
cool.
our 10-year anniversary blend, the
Yep.
Lotus Blend. It's hand-selected by the team here at DE, which
而
is
且
me.
到时候如果我有拿到的话，
So
我们要不要来喝喝看？
Gave me 4 blind bags.
他们的周边朝奇怪的方向发展
I just tasted all
他们
of
怎么
them.
开始朝食品
I
前
tasted one and they
进
were？like, "That's an
而且
interesting."
Warframe 口味的咖啡到底是什么意思？
So anyways, they are delicious beans. I've had
买
it.
过
say this whole stream is-
咖啡包装，确实这样。我知道，可是我是说，我看袋子，我觉得超蓬，就感觉很像是爆米
Exclamation point
花。
coffee
How did
if
we
you
get
would like
back
to
here?
get your
that's
beans.
brutal, brutal.
We do have a limited supply. So exclamation point coffee if you want to get yourself some Lotus Blend.
Coffee.
Have a little cup of coffee with the Warframe crew.
Even just like the art and stuff. I think
cool, eh?
Yeah, like the media team did a great
我没有
job.
很大包啊，
So cool.
Yeah.
Can I smell it though?
我都不知道它是咖啡豆还是咖啡粉。
Yeah.
Use those muscles. You can
And this
literally
is
rip it.
selected by you. This is
This
your
is
flavor
my
profile.
selection.
Okay. This
I
might-
had a
虚
very
空能量的
jazzy
咖啡包。
I made 4 different kinds of coffee.
左边的羊没有，我告诉你们，
It was a lot.
那种会包一堆空气的，
Did you want
只有应该说只有亚洲地区会这样，欧美那边他们没有，欧美那边他们空气其实很少。
Okay.
Moving on from this
Moving
I'll just work
on.
on opening this.
Last but not least, TennoCon related. If you were there, obviously watched it.
用力啊
You'll know that we had a first time ever
他是
live
在想要怎么开，是不是？
performance
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Devere music. It was beautiful. It was stunning. It was incredible. We recently
史蒂夫是在研究怎么把它打
got
开。
Waterloo Symphony, who are the orchestra individuals doing that Devere music, recently abruptly filed for bankruptcy to the surprise of all of our musicians, which was really unfortunate, really sad. And DE has donated to support those musicians, but if you also
我现在
feel
看到
like
了
you do the same
旁边的
to
那
support
个
our lovely Devere
杯子的旁边那个
musicians,
放在
other
下面放在桌上那个是帽子
you can do
毛帽。
Symphony in Twitch chat. It will send you a link to their GoFundMe if you feel the need to support them. They did an incredible job at TennoCon, and we just hope that they can obviously get back on their feet and make some more incredible music because they are absolutely incredible musicians, and we love them.
Yeah, and supporting the arts, I think if you can, that would be amazing.
Are you? Did I do a good
怎
job?
样超香是不是？
They smell
They
great.
smell incredible.
Yeah.
They taste better.
Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
而且上面一样是那个有那个10周年的那个 logo，他们10周年好多新的东西哦。
October is a big month. We have a lot of things going on. We'll get into the Abyss of Dagoth update, but we also have some in-person things happening. The community team. We are headed to Las Vegas, Nevada for none other than TwitchCon 2023 and returning to our roots, Tenno VIP 2023.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
cool.
that.
哦，对，下一次的线下活动是 TwitchCon 的时候，
You're not going
然后是 Tenno VIP
But thank you for the
2023。
picture. We are going to be throwing Tenno VIP 2023. If you're unfamiliar what this means, it basically is the community team going to an event, renting out a restaurant or whatever it may be, and just having a really good time with our community. There'll be prizes. I might give away a legendary core because I have no boundaries. We'll see.
What happens in Vegas
Stays in Vegas. It is a free event. It's going to be happening on October 21st. It's going to be at the Paris Hotel. We rented a ballroom. It's going to be Abyss of Dagoth themed. I have a cardboard cutout of Dagoth because she doesn't have a head. And
Oh,
you
do
can be
players get to put her face in
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
你看左边中间的那一张照片，靠左的那一个，
Costume, get spooky. It's
你
gonna
觉得他
be
是
really
男的还是
fun.
女的？
Exclamation point Tenno VIP.
Someone should dress up as Steve, so it's like Steve is
比
there.
较像男的
Some。Steve cosplay.
我也觉得很像男的。
Exciting me. Mhm.
It is. One less plane ride.
他的脸的
Exclamation
轮
point
廓
Tenno
比较像
VIP
男
if you
生
would like to RSVP your tickets. We do have a limited amount. We have a limited amount of
Please
space.
only RSVP if you know you're going.
Yes.
Like, please.
Please and thank you. If you're going to be in the TwitchCon area, Las Vegas, and you want to come to Tenno VIP on the Saturday, please come. Would love to see you, hang out with you. We're going to try and get back to these next year because we're, back in that traveling realm of the world, I guess. But this is the start of it, so we're excited to be back at TwitchCon as well. We'll be walking around, hanging out.
And if you do go to Las Vegas and you go to Magic Mike, it's not a strip show, okay? It's acrobatics and dance, okay?
And they give you fake money, which was so. Oh, sorry.
I tried to pretend our trip was respectable, Megan, and you ruined it.
Fake money is respectable. Moving along, we lost nothing. We gained everything. Moving along. Also in October, although it's spooky month and we have really fun things happening, it's also a very special month for Warframe and Digital Extremes because we have our Quest to Conquer Cancer campaign that will be running.
哦，这个是今年的
We're gonna be raising money toward the
征服癌症护，去年是给护甲了吗？
And you're going to be unlocking special rewards for yourself.
还是这是新的护甲？
The incredible Conquera collection of items, and I actually am in game right now, Danny. If you want.
去年给的是啥来着？
I have myself decked out in all of the Conquera items. So obviously we have previous years. We have the chest ribbon. We have the shoulders.
有拍到侯姐，
What is going to be unlocked this year if you reach the incentive is the leg armor, which will complete
跟去年一样，然后多角。我看一
And
下
of
哦
course, you know, we'll have other fun incentives
Please
along
tell
the
me
way.
you're showing.
因为我有点忘记去年到底给啥了。
Getting there,
哦，
God. We have some beautiful
什
display
么
by
斯巴达
Saturn.
跟亚瑞里原来是
We have a new
对的吗？
glyph and sigil. We have a new Vermink flute. Oh, that's the in-game version right there on my floor. And then we have IRL version. This was actually voted by you guys last year on what floof you guys wanted to see for this year's campaign, and you got the Vermink. So there you go, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I can
And
play
there's
with
the
my
tumbler with
my
the
deer
art.
shirt.
We have the toque. Oh, it is a very exciting time to be a Warframer. And as well, as Reb mentioned, UI theme.
哦，对，多角的，之前是胸甲跟肩甲。
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look
哦，
at
好
that new
粉
color
哦
theme and background, and it works exquisitely.
UTCC 的 Warframe 界面主题
Oh my god.
也太粉了吧！
That is.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's beautiful. Another incentive.
有
for
新的换文
Iron
啊，
Month campaign of October.
前年的是比较像
On October 2nd, Danny and myself will do a
缎带
lovely little kickoff
然后去年是花圈。
to get you all up to speed with what the incentives are and how the month is going to play out with our awesome creators doing their Quest to Conquer Cancer streams. It's going to be another epic month. Very excited for it. So we'll see you October 2nd for that.
That's great.
It's gonna be so good.
Also in October, 10 October. If you are an artist and you enjoy Inktober, this is Warframe's version of it, where we do really awesome Warframe prompts for your artists. So
What's the first prompt? Do we know?
I can tell you in
You got some
25
art
seconds.
粉红神教大旗，其他人代表终于不会闪到我们了。
Doodling. The first prompt of October 1st is portal.
Portal.
但真的，
Okay.
粉红神教哦，
Exactly. Yes.
那
Okay.
出来的时候都是身外之物很粉，对不对？现在他们终于可以自己粉了。
Typically we do Knights of
界面
Navarus.
很
So
粉。
Knights of Navarus is going to return. It's our spooky thematic event. with
没有肩甲之前已经有了，我有肩甲，肩甲之前就有了，这次是只有多腿甲而已。
She'll have some lovely things.
肩甲之前就有了，因为我已经有肩甲了。
We have a bunch of Day of the Dead stuff that's coming. We also have new glyphs. Thank you, Danny. The bottom right
哦
one.
这个是那个，这次万圣节的福音。
store, and the other four will be in the market if you want to pick those up. So you can have a little spooky glyph for your profile. As well, we do have some cosmetics coming. We have a brand new sign, Dana, that is very,
Yes.
very spooky,
very-
Rev.
okay,
What
yes.
am I looking at here?
It's half a
然后
bat wing.
哦，这个批示不错，我喜欢。
Look at it. Ooh.
Oh.
So as you can see, the right wing has been shredded, impaled with arrows, but the left wing remains intact as it
这个
struggles
批示
for
我觉得
its
蛮帅的。
last gasp at life, as though it has been torn from
哦，
the
会
very
动哎。
viscera of the darkest recesses of your mind.
Reminds me of Vegas, right?
Are you a beat poet now? What's
Do you
happening?
see the parade? Yes, we have a very exciting Halloween-themed things. Many, many things indeed.
That
Navarus-
one is really cool.
Yeah.
But not only that, we
Wow, what
also
a
have
cool
some
design.
Sentinel accessories.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Look at the little spooky guy. Here we have the Cave Sentinel accessory, so we can look at his little. He's got a knife in his head.
可是还有守
He
护
has been
的
stabbed by a, I think it's a kunai or
Hey,
a
Jin.
bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Someone got sick of their companion dying over and over again and decided to end its misery by a lobotomy. So
Nice.
Amazing.
哦，那是外观啦，有加外观。我还想为什么那造型没
As
看过
well,
欸？
this is coming. What I'm going to show you next is not Knights of Navras, but it is coming in the Abyss of Dagoth update, which we'll obviously get into. But we have a.
哦，它的船也是
I
粉
guess I
红
have a
色
couple
的。
tricks up my sleeve.
Oh, that's not medically advised at
好
all.
粉
Where
哦！
this is my good ideas creative direction sheet, and I
Really?
thought
It's just sort of sweaty in your cast like that.
vampire plus lotus equals happy.
Lotus?
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay,
let's
that's
take a
great.
look.
We have the Nabras
哎
Lotus skin.
这个外
For
观
those of you that have been
是那个每次万圣节活动的时候会出现那个，
sometimes looks like a vampire
哎，
shape,
算
but
吸血鬼的连麻造型。哎，他们真的把它出来嘞！
so we'll have a,
之前都只有万圣节的时候在任务里面你才
that
看得
will
到
have。the blood detail there, so you could permanently have Nabras Lotus
There
as a
you go.
skin.
So, just taking a question from Chad, I know that we're not doing that. Rebecca, why are you like this?
Let me just pull off my thinking cap.
Oh no, there's
we have,
more?
We have more notes for the
Oh
stream.
God,
Okay.
Alright,
oh no,
friends.
I'm sorry I asked.
It's currently almost
Sorry I
2:30, so
asked.
we're gonna just
Okay,
move
accelerate,
right along
accelerate.
here. All right, it's time for what you have all been waiting for, and that is to talk about the update, Abyss of Dagoth. Rev, what do you got?
This is Abyss of Dagoth.
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Dagoth.
Can anyone even read that?
I can. that's
Really?
all.
Not really.
Very well. All right, we're going to get into everything that Abyss of Dagoth is bringing. That includes, the new Warframe, our 54th Warframe. That includes all of the quality of life. That includes
印
everything
象
in between.
会
So
寄
I
信，
need-
好像会吧，有点忘了。
Update. This
因为
is
那个
update 34, it's a full number
有
update.
相
There is
万
a
圣
lot
节
you're
活
gonna
动
want
已经
all
万
the
圣节
content
相关的
for
任务已经
this
太
episode.
久太久没有出
Let's
来。
start. Danny, jump on in, shall we?
他们好几年都是只有出新的东西，可是都没有再出那
All
个
right, here she is.
纳贝流士的任务。
Oh.
哎呦，新战甲，
Daga?
看他的真的脑子有一个
Now, in
洞。
my hat of many ideas, one of my
我的
creative
天啊！
direction highlights.
那我好奇他的替换头盔
There's a debate.
是不是中间还是一个洞，还是那个洞的造型会有变
Of course, I had to settle
化？
this dispute in base camp in an official capacity by saying keep the big thighs. So that was a very
不过
exciting
整体造型是蛮好看的，
Okay, rate the HR with that one.
而且也是个不对称型。而且它右边那是什
So
么
here we
码
have Dagoth
头
in
吗？
her default thick thigh
它
form.
右手上面那个
She's
是
coming
码
with
头
two。idle animations. This is one of them. She has no face. It's very exciting. She will also be coming with an alternate helmet. This is the, I'm going to say it wrong,
哦，
Gancian.
Oh, that's
没有哎，居然不是洞哎，居然没有洞哎。
If
Stunning
you ever
work.
wanted
哎
to be a unicorn,
好
no，
我讲太
brainer.
早了。啊，洞变成横的，我说太早了。
no brainer. That's pretty good.
它的洞变成横的了。
That will be coming with the update as well.
哦
This is，
原来是我太肤浅了。
for that.
没有人说洞一定要在正面是吧？
Blind witchy vibes. Love that.
Yeah, we're really.
这个是换纹还是批示？
We get a look for her, but
Yep.
Megan has a lot to show us with her customizations.
I did a little bit
Oh,
of fashion for
换
you,
纹
Jeff. What do we think?
那个是换
So
纹，
far, so
So
good.
far, you're
因为它中批示了，所以那个是换纹。
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
impressed,
Yep,
actually. Like,
yep.
so far.
So far.
I told you earlier, I had some good stuff for
I know
you.
you did.
What was
You
this
sound
one?
confident. Yeah, you're.
It
kinda
still
new-
works.
With the
It still
new
works.
bat
Yeah.
sign, Dana?
Oh yeah, that is a
Keeping things
winner.
tasteful right
That
now,
is
yeah.
a winner.
All right, don't do Eden.
Okay,
You're
but
gonna
don't
Oh,
make
do
it-
E.
you're on a screen.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
That's actually pretty good. I tried to make her look like a horse.
这是
She's
什
got
么
a
啊？
tail,
这
she's
是
got
什
a
么？
mane, she's a
鱼
unicorn.
鱼跟
Come on, Jack.
鱼跟
Now, I
狐狸的
do
混
have
种，
to- I have to interject here. Skyers.
然后
who,
加独角兽。
sculpted, and converted Dagoth from the male
它怎么
concept
感觉
to
是
the
超级合成兽啊？有独角兽的特征，又有狐狸的尾巴，又有鱼的鱼鳍，这是什么超级合成兽？是不是？
Skyers special,
To you, isn't it?
pretty
Oh.
cool,
Yeah. Okay.
looking like.
Nice pose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then because
I'm
Dagoth,
nervous about where this is going.
you'll see.
这手指到底在做？他那个啊，你没看过吗？那
She
飞
is inspired
那
by
个海贼王啊，
And of course the Dullahan.
哎，在那个什么慈孤岛那个什么医生21人是不是？
Skyers, I can't compete with
他们不是
these
手
guys.
就
I don't
是
even
戴
try.
着手套，然后全部这样举
Anyways,
着吗？
so
对不对？
Dagoth, our 54th Warframe. We are going to do a little bit of gameplay in a minute that will feature her brand new
哦
signature.
它的
blade,
剑边
the door
Clave.
Damn it.
Doorclave.
Doorclave. The Doorclave. And it does have. You can screenshot that if you wish. We're gonna talk a little bit later.
所以说这叫看他的技能，
In the quality
好
of
不好
life
会哦？
section,
然后他怎么那个
just skip over
一
that.
技是什么 room 之类的，然后就开始把人家身体分割重组之类，或者是可以大绝直接把人家心脏拿过来。
Try and do a seasonal theme, but with obviously a permanent WARFRAME. You know, like she's part of the game. So we wanted to look for some references we had from some of Keith's work for something that
专制投错
and
胎
we found his Ichabod.
哦，直接弄死。
Yeah, I know. All this stuff is so not body horror. So we found this original concept back that we showed you at TennoCon.
I love this concept.
Yeah, and then
I'm so glad it's made.
Then we created Daggeth. And what was really important, I think, for, you know, as we get through her abilities, is the idea of an undead vengeance, curses, and a lot of damage. So for her abilities, we wanted, well, you'll see her ultimate may or may not incorporate a assault of caves, because her lore is all going to be given to you in the context of a Nabarus tale, which we'll talk about a bit after. Ooh. But you'll get to see some of that. But for Daggeth, her first ability is Word Sights. This is a radial from you. You're getting these kind of spectral sides that will target enemies. So you can see here.
哎呦，等一下，他那个技能怎么超像亚瑞里的？它的持续时间好短，然后攻击频率超高，而且看起来好像有点强。是亚瑞里的另类极端版。亚瑞里是打击频率很低，持续时间长。 它是打击频率很高，持续时间短。刚好跟亚瑞里的是颠倒的。
But once you cast Doom, it's going to be a cone in front of Daggeth, and it's cursing enemies. So these enemies are doomed. The curse lasts a duration, and these cursed enemies get what we're calling the Phantom Wrath curse. So she has a cone in front of her. She's hitting enemies with Doom. If you hit your your Word Scythe on them, it'll do additional damage. It'll do more instances of that Phantom Wrath curse, which creates this sickle over their head that does additional damage instances. So once you see that sickle above your head on those doomed enemies, as you're hitting them, you're really going to be spreading a curse and delivering damage in the form of Doom and in the form of that Word Scythe. Oh, we got some enemies up here. Just like Hades, hey! Curses are for the Tenno. Then we have Grave Spirit, which is kind of her damage buff and survivability ability. So Megan, if you've pressed 3,
你们看她的血量
是
666
I'm trying.
她被打了。
Megan has died. She's now taking a spectral
这是被动能力吗？
A instance in where you're kind of
不是3
truly
级
a Grave Spirit. This has a timer, and then
3级什么要死了才能
wears down,
使用，是不是？
have this ability on cooldown. So this is very much a, you know, while you have it active, if you were to face death, you would face this spirit realm, and then you'll come back, and then that ability's on.
应该不是基础血量啊，基础血量666太高了。
You are doing,
所以这应该是加过 mod 的，只是加到什么程度不知。基础血量666也太夸张。
It's that big build synergy. So you want to doom them. You want to have your 3 up, which is called Grave Spirit.
2技会定人。
Cycling through, keeping that active, doing more crit, cursing enemies with the doom, and then
剩大绝
cascade damage in all that rotation. And now for the ultimate.
You ready?
Well, I don't know. Do we need a quick recap of all the abilities so far? If you press 1, you'll get your Word Sights.
哎呦，被领取了。
Press 2. And then you'll do your Doom, which will do the curse, and then 3 is your crits are now enhanced. And if you attack people that have that curse on them, you'll do additional crit damage. And of course, in this state, if you die, you'll enter the Phantom, the Spirit Grave realm. And then the ultimate, this is based on her lore that you'll learn from Grandmother. This is called Rakali's Cavalry, which, why don't you just hit it up? Summon a charge of caves. Rakali was Daggeth's loyal companion. You'll learn about her.
Cool.
Actually, why don't you hop on?
Oh, why don't I?
哎，等一下
You know, in open worlds, you can, you know. Yeah, so this is
临时不只可以领一次。
custom cave cosmetics that Rakali had adorned on her. So
我刚刚领了，然后我发现它居然有第二条，哎，就是它又在累积了，所以临时不是只能领一次。
对，它又出现一个0%，
对不对？然后也是套嘛，对不对？
不是30分钟，对啊。
Tearing down their defenses, you're going to be spreading that curse, which is really important to the gameplay. Is if you kill an enemy while the curse is active, there is a spread mechanic, and yeah, you're just going to be tearing through enemies with this cursed frame, really. Cursed.
数量最大2。
Oh yes, her passive. We have a name for it, which
Abundant Abyss.
Abundant Abyss. Yeah. So the passive is essentially
详细资
when
料
you
看
get
一
energy
下
or
哈
health。drops, there's a chance that there'll be 200% more.
哦，有哎，数量最多2哎，所以可以领2次哎。就是套是可以领2次的哎，我操！
So those pickups will have a chance to just be much stronger.
哦，赚2颗套哎！
You'll be able to get us just a stronger payoff from.
太赚了吧！
这个实况太超值了，
太赚了吧！2颗套哎，然后会亏到了。
The quote might be wrong.
他
Then it's your fault.
他真的不挂，超亏的。
真的。
Yeah, those horses won't. That's just so cool.
Yeah, and then they disappear back to this phantom realm.
To the Phantom Realm.
Yeah.
All right, that's Dagoth.
Yes. She is our headliner Warframe coming.
哇，这界面好粉哦。
Dagoth, Dagoth, whatever.
Questions?
We'll find out.
Dagoth.
你之后会想要用那个界面主题
All
吗？
right. Obviously, the biggest question we're not.
觉得太笨了。
You just wait.
Oh,
I know. I have my cheat sheet. I have my cheat sheet.
The biggest question about Dagoth is how do I get Dagoth? How do you
You
get?
haven't said much. Do you want to?
I got a lot to say later.
He's saving his voice for the quality of life. Yeah.
All right. So with Dagoth, we have a two-prong approach. Well, actually 3 technically, because you can buy her in the market. But for players that want to earn her, there is going to be a combination of kind of giving new content to the original course. You can go to gameplay now, Danny, by the way. Sorry. The core original 6 syndicates are going to have.
哎，我刚刚就看到虚空钥匙啊。
Abyssal beacons. This abyssal beacon, right now it's using a placeholder image of a void key, but they're
这是什
very
么
much inspired by the original void key system.
他现在要讲那个
treasure maps to a haunted
怎么
ship.
拿到那只战甲。
The Grineer foolishly piloted their galleon to what we're calling the abyssal zone. The ship's not doing
啊，那个
so
虚
well.
空钥匙，刚刚你有看它的
All have
说明
members
写
of
的。
board, but you can grab those
没有注意
treasure
看。
maps and you can run to Ceres and run these abyssal beacon keys to earn the resource from what we're calling vein thorn.
只有钢铁有。
Distinct rose. And
Had to be a rose.
Had to be a
Had to be a
rose.
rose.
反正
Vein
就是
thorn
入
is
场
going to
券。
be the resource that you use to build the Goth and her haunted
氏族
sanctuary known as Dagoth's Hollow.
要去氏族。
Dojo room.
Yeah, so for the syndicate abyssal beacons, you can key share. If I have one, if I'm playing with 4 friends, we can each, run our maps, quote unquote, run our key shares, and get the. It is a new game mode technically. It's like a twist on Exterminate.
Yeah, it's exterminate with a couple extra wrinkles.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So you'll be clearing out those ships in the abyssal zone to get your void thorn, and there will be a steel path variant as
我还以
well.
为可以在道场叫那个海俊出来。
Yes. So Dagoth's
这什么房间啊？
Hollow is a dojo room that is.
这房间的主题跟 WARFRAME 差太多了吧？
Dojos where you'll be able to, first of all, you'll be able to customize your cave outside of the Duviri setting. So if you don't like going into Duviri just to modify.
这房间的主题是20古堡，是不是？
This place will house, your cave. So this is where your cave will be. There's that. That's her idle animation.
Yeah.
That's actually what caves do when they're in love. Those.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I see. Yes, they're in a committed relationship. Yes.
So
Oh.
you can go to the shrine of Dagoth here, and there actually isn't.
哦，它是氏族研发的。
Wait for this time. You'll build the room. You'll have instant access to replicate her blueprints using the resource from the syndicate missions. So yeah, there's no research wait for this particular room.
WARFRAME 黑。
However, there is
到场可以直接
So
进
when
度
this
域了
launches,
吗？
you can listen to the shrine to see what grandmother from Deimos might
为了
have
他
to
直接
say.
加一个房间，
How to pronounce
没有啊，
it.
这还好吧？
Very important thing.
没有啊，这还好吧 ？Yareli 那个不是也是直接给你加一个房间吗
The
？OK 的
Room is
，OK。
really cool too.
Yes.
Just so detailed and interesting.
至少这个房间的造型我还比较喜欢。Yareli 的那个什么拼接实验室，哦，那个房间的造型真的是好无聊，就是把通风小子他们的那个场景搬进来。
Yeah, they nailed it. And when you hear the story, it's probably one of the darker stories we've ever told in Warframe. So you know.
那间不
And you
大，
like
这间
candle
其实也没有很大，
design
你仔细
idea
看
and
左
how
上
the
角
little，changes in the quality
看
of
左
life.
上角那个小地图，其实它那间房间也没有很大，
No.
它只是里面看起来很大，但它实际上的地图房间没有很大。
8, 9, 10, 11.
看左上角的小地图，
Exactly. Keep lighting them.
Keep lighting.
其实很小。
Get your lighters, fillers. Yeah. So
That's beautiful.
yeah. So this
really
room
cool.
is for
Great vibe.
great vibe. The sound. Oh yes. The smiling. Perhaps that was once her face.
Ooh.
But where's her brain?
Oh, oh.
Aw.
So sad.
Yes, this is all coming, so get some space in your dojo for the room. The resources will be acquired through the Abyssal Beacons, which the syndicates will offer you, and away you go.
Away you go.
Awesome.
Away we shall
Awesome.
go.
Really cool.
Yeah.
All right, and a few other little bit things coming in Abyss of Dagoth that are not quality of life related. Void Shell skins! Team has been working hard on getting those Void Shell skins out, and we have 3 coming with the Abyss of Dagoth update. We have... We'll go back to Nidus here, shall we? We have a Nidus Void Shell skin coming. Ooh,
哦 ，Nidus 的虚空之壳，虚空壳外观。
couple boils.
Oh god.
Nice, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Obviously,
A couple
mutation.
boils.
Yep.
We could
Yep.
play
的
with
配色不用看，一定是虚空壳。
Wouldn't, but okay.
What do you mean? I'm not choosing
Oh wait,
these.
wait, that's sick. Yeah.
This
That
is
looks
the
so
game.
good.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All
Look at
right.
that. Looking cool, Joker.
Looking
哎，
cool.
可是旁边下面怎么还没有选材质？
Also, we have Mirage is going to be getting one. Not this. Don't
Oh,
look,
God.
Don't,
Oh.
God.
It's fine, it's
No,
fine,
wrong
it's fine.
slot, wrong slot.
虚空壳，
She'll be getting very disco techy.
Oh.
Disco
它
techy.
的
Very nice.
长辈变得好零零角角。
It's just where my mouse was.
Okay, never mind.
And then we also have Reb's favorite, Protea will be getting a
Oh.
void shell.
Protea，
There she is.
Protea 也要出虚空壳外观，
Let's go, let's go.
Do you really though?
所以下一轮的3只是 Protea、小丑、
Oh.
I could do that.
Nidus。
That's pretty cool.
Excellent.
Excellent. Ooh, wow. Anyway, sorry. So 3 void shell skins are coming.
You like this
in
one because it's
update.
Christmassy.
Yeah.
totally.
Look at her. She made Santa. It's a beard.
It's Christmassy for sure.
Santa Claus.
You said that, not me. You said that, not me. So 3 void shell skins coming with Abyss of Dagoth update. All right, let's do a little bit of a recap of what we all just talked about. Danny, hit that slide.
Oh.
My queen.
Get rid of us.
All right,
We're ghouls.
to sum up a bit of Abyss of Dagoth update 34, obviously our 54th
去看一下。
Warframe Dagoth is coming. New
10月18号
whip, her signature door clave.
You got it.
Nice. Alternate helmet, looking like
Oh,
a
10月
unicorn. We got those Kaith cosmetics that you saw. We got Dagoth's Hollow Dojo Room that you're going to
10月18号推出。
craft her. We got Void Shell skins, Protea Mirage, and Nidus. We got Knights of Navarus coming back. We got lots of
可以
dead stuff. New Sign Dana that you saw. Sentinel
下礼拜
the Navarus Lotus skin that you saw as well. And then we're going to get into these 2 last things, which is the big quality of life and reworks, as well as Grendel Prime after that. Yay!
So far, so
Should we do
good.
the Platinum Prize? I kind of blacked out about
we,
that.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't do any.
Sorry,
Might have
Danny.
to do a couple.
Appreciate you. All right, so do we want to
哎，他们怎么没有提到 Grendel
preface this a little bit?
Prime？
There is a lot of quality of life coming in this update. Maybe the most we've ever had.
Ever.
Is that,
So
is that an
cool.
accurate
That's
thing
so
to say?
cool.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Yep.
Most we've
1000
ever
百
had.
斤。
We obviously talked about it on 10.0 Live. We went through our little slides beat by beat, and we said we'd deep dive into it, and we are going to dive deep, my friends.
Yeah, Telecon, I did the 2-minute version. This is the 2-hour version.
Yeah, exactly. 1,000 Platinum has gone to. Can you read that, Jeff?
雷霆 P 枪7还没刷到，
Score XI.
加油！
All right,
你还
we did it. Please
有
list
2
the
周半
1,000
的
Twitch
时间
Candy
可以
Rush
刷
right。now. in-game alias platforming play WARFRAME on. It will get you your 1,000
It
platinum.
was close.
You
close.
just pulled
I
it out of
know.
the
I
fire
made sure
there.
to.
What do you mean?
Our
It could have been.
Make sure to emphasize the oaths.
Just go ouse on that.
Very
yeah.
well.
Yep.
All right, it is now time for the quality of life section of this update. Strap in, strap on. First of all, one of the most important. What happens in Vegas? I'm just kidding.
This is just like a TennoCon.
It's like TennoCon all over
Here's
again.
my big box.
One of the big
Strap on.
things, quality of life wise,
没事，你可以让它白金掉落，
rendering.
考虑一下。
Yes, well, I don't know if we said the date yet, but in October, the consoles that we support, our beloved console folks, are actually all going to be bumped to deferred only renderers, which means the classic renderer will no longer be a thing on consoles.
That's
so
right.
Nintendo Switch, all our Xbox and PlayStation SKUs are all going to be supporting deferred. This is obviously hugely important, especially with our Whispers in the Walls graphical plans. You know that GI lighting only works in deferred. So this is when the switch is going to be made. The Goth update is going to be a renderer unification for all our consoles.
Yes.
No pressure, right?
Are you
Steve?
asking me to comment on that?
Would you, any comments?
I just kind of learned this a bit ago. But yeah, the gorgeous TennoCon demo for WARFRAME is using the enhanced renderer, and it's also using a new lighting system that does not work in the old stuff. And so and it's going to be rolled out on Switch as well. I just saw I saw Switch RIP, but no, it's going to be rolling out there as well. And the great thing, I think, for our artists, there's a lot of cool features that they can use, and they have been using since Angels of Zeraman, that Classic can't see. There's a very amazing decal system or decal system that they can't use in Classic. So, as well as that new GI volume lighting system. So this is kind of important for us, and I apologize for any pain. Obviously, like I always say in the old days, if we mess it up, we'll make it right, but it's an important step. It's going to literally cut in half the amount of shaders and tech art maintenance that we have to do for our game. So that's going to be really good for raising the quality for the game, and lets our artists focus more on kind of one spec. And there's even stuff in Duviri, how rocks blended into terrain. You don't see that stuff in Classic, so it's really important for us to get into this kind of one unified rendering framework for all our platforms.
And just, we don't have a date yet, but that does mean the PC Classic will also eventually be retired.
That's right.
It's not happening in this update, but it'll probably be pretty soon. We'll have to see.
It has to be before the next.
Yeah, it has to be before Whispers in the Wall. It's going to be soon.
We don't have a choice because Whispers and Walls built completely on this new stuff.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, if you're technically minded, it's kind of like bye-bye light maps in that particular tile set, and then eventually rolling out to the larger game. And what I think, if you look at the TennoCon demo, at least through my eyes, you see that the characters and the environment and the moving objects all just are completely consistently lit from the same data. You have this stuff like in the things that drive me crazy, like you're going through the Corpus set and the doors look like they're kind of like unlit, and they're just like the characters don't seem to match the environment. This is going to be a real big boost, particularly for that art set, and then we have to roll it out further.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of date, I kind of forgot and glossed over this, but Abyss of Dagoth update is coming October 18th. So everything, this quality of life that we're about to show you, not that, but this quality of life that we're about to show you, October 18th, Dagoth, all this stuff, Grendel Prime, we're going to get into it. And the first bit of quality of life we shall tackle is
Companions.
Companion rework.
Hold X to revive your mom.
Very well. We have a lovely slide, or your internet.
That's what people name their pets.
Your mom.
Or your internet,
Tong
my
ban.
internet. It's good times. No more will you have that.
Tong
So
ban
essentially,
重置
this is going to be our first round of companion rework changes. We are going to do a part 2 that will look at abilities, Smida.
同伴不会再
不会
Basically, the
不会死啊。
first kind of pain point that we had with companions is they were dead all the time.
And that caused a lot of pain.
So that's kind of the first thing.
同伴不会死，那重生 P 要干嘛用啊？
Obviously, particularly
它会
Sentinels
它会
that just
改
never came back except for Dejin.
它第三点就是说，大部分的
Mode 都会调整
mode 都
they
会
would just
修。
die in the first minute of the mission and then never come back. And then for the companions that you could, it was really, it left a really bad flavor of mouth to just have like the dog for someone else be
啊，
dying
不会
all the
死，
time, and you would just see
不会死，我觉得还不错。
and so it
还不
was
错啊。
really something that just wasn't working. So basically what we did is they don't die anymore, they just go incapacitated, which basically means they're disabled for a
那可不可以
certain
让
period.
猫也不会
So
死？
you still don't want them to die, so you still want to
它的
put on
同伴是指
some
所有
and all
同
that.
伴，
But if
还
they
是只有
do,
守
then they're
护？
just incapacitated, and after a little bit they come back. You can also
它如果是
accelerate
用
that
同伴
period
这个
of
字的
how
话，
long they
应该
take
是
to come back to
全
doing
部
certain
所有
actions
同
and stuff.
伴。
We have
对
some
不对？
mods
可是
that
因
we
为
can show.
Yeah,
Bond
we have the
mods.
bond mod. Sorry, Danny, I'm skipping one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so those are some examples. There's 14 of these
这
mods.
是
I
新
think.
的 mod
There
哦
are 14 new mods like this, and they basically give. We don't want mods that are just about reviving the.
消耗
the
100
pets
点
because
能
they-
量。
it feels like a waste.
哦，这个是
invest
哦，
just
这
on
是对，这
dying.
是新的同伴
That
塔。
doesn't feel fun. So all of these have like a secondary effect, and
帮
all
会
the
克
ones
隆
we
自
have some other
克隆
secondary
寿
effect
命为
that,
30，
that is beneficial besides just.
大约50%几率掉落能量球。
Beyond the fact that they cannot die, we also enhance their EHP considerably. It varies depending on which of the pets it is, but around 50% more EHP in general is kind of where they landed. Some needed more help than others. Some of them were even more squishy, so they'll get I think there's some sentinels that have like 90% or even 100%.
Danny,
So-
we do have an. Yeah. Oh, she knows. She got it.
哦，
Yeah, so this is
对。
one example for the Raxa. The
所以是
you can
所有
see
同
the-
伴呢，
the-
所以以后
no
猫也
mods
不会
and
死
new。mods, the with no mods, it increased
所以以
by
后我们不用再
70%
救猫了，
the
我们可以把它
HP
所有的生存卡
itself,
全部拔
but
掉。
even with max mod is 72%.
可是它应该会
Again, it
它
really
应该
depends on which
它还
pets
是有
we have
血
way
量
too
的
many,
啊。
but just to give you like an example of the sorts
不是啊，
of
可
things
是
that happen.
我说的生存
It
卡是指
increases
像
the
那
armor,
个
increases the shields,
定向
later
猫，
we'll
像
talk
比如
about
说
how it
笑面猫，
changes
它
the
们不是
shields
有一
also
招那
like
个
this.
类似假
Yeah,
死
those
的
are
那个状
basically
态，
the first things
那
that
种的
we
就可以
can
拔掉。
add.
你
So
正常血量连结
they
那
no
些可以
longer die,
上，
they
可
just
是
go incapacitated.
其他的像什么修
They
补
now
套
have、much more EHP.
宠物治疗套件啥
All
的
mods related to
就可以
that,
考虑拿掉，
being incapacitated and also adding some
或者是那个
utility.
挡
搞
死
不好就
啊
会改
之类的。
掉，不知道。
Next year we want to do a second pass, nerf charm, and then in that
什么
one,
时候
we're gonna
分
revise
析
like all
大
the
石怪
abilities
癖？
and the utility nerf charm.
应该是
And then we're gonna look into
如果他们是一起出的话，就是10月18号。
Anyways, we're gonna do that.
如果
We
是一起
definitely
出
wanna
的
do
话。
that part. We know that even
在
once they
10
don't
月
die,
18号
we
更新。
know they're still really uneven. So we will revise that next year. But first we need them to not die to kind of see where things settle, and then we'll work on that second part. But know that that part is coming.
Yes.
Can I see the clone mod again? I'm a little concerned.
Why?
How stacking does it work?
Clone mod?
Yeah, there's a
Oh, the
clone.
duplex.
Yeah, the
Oh,
duplex
sorry.
bond.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, now the values might change. This
Okay.
is
Yeah,
just
this is all
this is
subject
just this is off the fly. This is just dev-built. You're fine.
You literally have a cloned deer on your shirt. How can you be?
Yeah, but it's only 2.
Also about companion rework, all these other quality of life stuff that we are working on, we do have dev workshops that are going to go live. We have basically 5 buckets of quality of life stuff that we've put together. Companion rework, Hydroid rework, we'll get into the rest. And as
这还
we're
是要
talking
讲
about them,
水
they're
人
going to
是
go live in the forums. So if we've reached the end of our companion section,
Just a couple of mini
Very
notes.
well.
Basically, there's some updates to how the pets appear in the HUD, just kind of to keep you more informed of what's going on with them. And then a few other mods. Besides the new mods, we also touched up a few of the older mods that we just kind of had
Yeah,
to along
we
the way.
have gone through comprehensively things like spare parts, prime regen, all those things. The dev workshop that Megan referred to, that should be live any minute now, we'll have it all in there. So
Yes.
if you want our overview, we just gave it to you. If you want to read the nitty gritty, it is all there for you.
可以让
Every
宠物
mod's
挡
interpretation
72K 了，
system.
也要打得到，也要 72K 想打他们
On
啊！
that,
就等一下那
bucket one,
飞那
you
个
have 4 more buckets to
72K
go, but this was a big
打
one.
出来的瞬间，他
Five
们
to
往
six.
旁边跳一下，怎
10
么？
minutes left.
What happens with the vacuum when they're incapacitated?
While they're incapacitated, I'm not sure. So I imagine it disables because we disable a few other things, but I'd have to.
像你一样，你现在也可以让宠物去
You're
挡
acting like a real
72K
Warframe
啊！
player now. First thing you do is act about
it's like live chat over here. If you would like a link to the companion rework, like we mentioned, the dev workshop, you can do !companion in Twitch chat. It will take you to
I
the...
saw a couple times the same question that I really need to address. I am wearing pants. just to be clear, there are pants. Okay? just make it clear.
Rebecca 笑的也太夸张了吧。
He's got your calicos on.
Yeah. The Pablo
我这么
show.
嗨吗？
He's embracing it.
I thought you were being so serious. I thought you were
Pablo's dying from listening to Rebecca laugh. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
basically, I'm like contagious laughter.
We might have to revive them.
Oh my god. Oh. All right, are we ready for Hydroid rework, everybody? Yes. Woo, the cheers, the crowd goes wild.
Sloshy,
TennoCon audience screams, takes their pants off.
That's right.
Pablo started the trend.
Oh my god.
Take your pants off for the Hydroid rework,
All
because
right.
things are about to get tentacly.
No. All right,
Okay,
so
okay.
Pablo.
Do you regret coming back?
Not at all.
I'm here for it.
So we have a lovely slide, just kind of going over very briefly what it is. Obviously, we're
Okay.
going to do live Hydroid rework gameplay. I don't know if we want to just go in, talk about it as we play. Do we want to just kind of surface level talk about
Yeah, I
it?
guess we can play and I can just
Yeah.
rant. I mean,
We'll come back to the slide.
Do you want me to hold that?
a lot of what you're gonna see, you know, so I'm just basically gonna kind of tell you what changed. So the passive used to be you did the slam dunk into the ground and then a tentacle came out. It wasn't very useful because generally if you pinpointed a hit directly with the slam, you probably killed the unit or you knocked it away. So it wasn't exactly a very beloved passive. So we changed it. And
我
we
刚刚是不
went
是
for
看到他
the
们
theme
他
of
右上角
the
任务那个小图，我有看到
Briny, salty seas.
瘟疫之星的图
where
示。
the ships will rust.
Captain Ahab over here. Wow.
So basically, he now enhances corrosive. So basically, whenever he damages an enemy by any means, they are now more vulnerable to corrosive in general. So the first stack that gets applied to them removes 50% armor instead of the usual 24.
来，让我
What
看看
that
你
means
改了
is
什
that
么
if you
技
get
能。
corrosive all the way up to 10 stacks, you now strip armor entirely. And he has many means to apply corrosive, so you'll see soon that he can really deliver those stacks. So his one, the first change we made to his one
他的
is it used
他
to
们
be
怎么把它
impact
称能
damage,
盾
which, didn't love, so now it's corrosive because now we have like a pretty
意是什么？
oh, you can see the little
好像
icon on
喷
top of their
泉，
heads, that is
范围
that
内
means that they're
喷泉是。
vulnerable to corrosive, and any corrosive stacks will basically, they don't have to be from you, they can be from anything, can be from your weapons, your abilities, and can be from other allies, doesn't
会
matter.
喷水，
whatever
范围
it
内
is,
会有
basically applied it to them.
喷泉喷出来。
The one no longer, the one used to like knock enemies around, so it was really hard to shoot them because essentially the ability kind of pushed them all over the place. So now it just staggers them, so they kind of stay in place. They still move a little bit because otherwise it really loses the kind of the punch. But now it's they kind of stay in the same range. These guys are a little too.
哎
weak
哦，
to
不对，
really
是从
go
上面一样是从上面掉下来的，不是喷泉啊。它那个特效太小了，
Yeah, so
我
I
刚
think
没有
it's,
注意
well,
到。
mentioned
是啊，
is
它是
one-
一样啊，从上面掉下来。
right, that's a little detail. The charge is gone. The values for normal cast are essentially the same as what used to be the max charge. So you basically get that now from the get-go. Then from his 2, you can see the water thing. They
The
made,
water
yeah, the little water wave.
然后二季
Title
一样是
Um,
变成
yeah,
一
with
滩
title
水往
surge,
前冲。
we basically changed it so it kind of grabs enemies better. Before it just kind of knocked them around. Again, kind of like the one, it just spread enemies around, which generally is not what
我
you
怎么
want.
感觉
So
三
now
季不再是
it
变
kinda
成一滩
gathers them
水
with
了？
you
看它
and
技
puts
能
them
图
on
标
the
好
right.
像不太一样。
These guys might be a little too weak for you
Yeah,
to
if they die,
actually
they just obviously die my
Yeah,
little title
okay.
surge. But
So
they
here, let's
survive,
see.
they come with me.
trust that they travel with you whenever they survive.
就
There you
它的
go.
二季好像速度有点太快了，不太好控制。
As they travel with you, you're also applying corrosive to them. So basically, they get even more stacks. So basically, if you grab a bunch of enemies, you deliver it at the end. They're right there in the floor with a bunch of corrosive stacks for you to devastate them. we did a few things with the timing of it. Essentially, before, the speed of the wave changed based on duration. We removed that, but we increased the base speed. It was very hard to control, and it caused too many issues to have it kind of be volatile. Like you could end up with really slow waves that didn't feel good, so we changed that. So now it's a constant speed, but it's higher speed than what it was in the original. And also now the status clear that used to be in the augment, the one for you is now by default. The augment now only does the status clear for others, which, and it does the cost reduction thing as well, if you still want that. And then a second of silence.
For Undertow. R.I.P. Undertow.
Burial at sea. Walk the plank.
I loved Puddle. I will be a Puddle lover till the day I die. Bury me in that puddle.
Okay.
I'm so sad.
So,
but I
okay, so
understand.
Undertow.
Undertow is gone.
She
Rip
gone.
Undertow.
But what do we got instead, Pablo?
Yeah, so I mean, just to kind of give you like a brief, I think everyone knows why it went. Essentially,
I don't.
being a stationary,
Why did it go?
being a stationary puddle doesn't really match the game at all. Essentially, you have to be in like a place.
Ambushed by Puddle?
We did try changing the puddle to a castable thing where you were not the puddle, but then the problem is enemies would not walk into the puddle. So you needed to then get a second tool to drag enemies into the puddle, and it just got really messy. In general, we also don't love enemy denial, which is basically hiding
他们就是
enemies
死
from
不
other
放3、4
players. It
季
just makes the game more boring for them.
有啊，放
So,
3季
yeah,
啦，我
in
们看
general,
他
the
又
puddle
又
just
变。
was not working, so we changed it.
Can we get an F in chat for Puddle?
I don't
哎
see
有
this,
哎
but you know.
所以所以它的3季不
It was
真的不是
taking
变
a
成
rest,
一滩
you
水
could，move at like 1 meter per second. That is my bad.
If anyone's going to get you
This
on a
is
technicality, it's
fish.
Twitch chat.
Yeah,
So
There we go.
Speak with
We're getting a lot of F's in chat
Yeah.
now. It just took a bit.
So the new ability, basically, any enemies in your view, you can plunder their armor and basically steal it for yourself. This scales based on how many enemies there are and also how many corrosive stats they have. So if you're spreading corrosive all over the place, then you plunder the armor and you end up with a bunch of armor and a bunch of...
I like how you made it a theme by calling it
Thunder.
Thunder,
And then, okay, so look at the icon. You can see that Megan set up a group of enemies there. She hit them with some
3季好像
corrosive
变成是
stacks with her
波甲
Tempest Barrage, and then boom, the armor was
然后他
plundered.
会把敌人的
And this
甲
is a survivability
拨到你
ability
自己身上。
Yeah, so right now, I mean, I think she did it on just a few
加
enemies, but she
腐蚀
has
伤
518 armor. You can see there on the upper right, on the
拨
lower
到
right
自己身上。
and 130%.
就是他现在右边那个图啊，
damage
就
added
表示他现在
to all
多
your
了
attacks. So
护
you
甲
get both of those, you get
跟
like
腐
a
蚀
half
伤。
offensive, half defensive, depending on how many enemies you target, and and it scales again from any corrosive stacks, which you can apply with a 1, you can apply with a 2, and you can apply with a 4, which we'll look at in a moment. Actually, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
enemies
Shall
around
we
here.
tentacle?
Yeah, so
Yeah, try and get. Yeah.
so the tentacle, one of the weird things about it is it used to do magnetic damage, which I found strange. So now it's corrosive, just to go themed with everything else. And instead of flapping the enemies around, which I know a lot of people really dislike because similar to what I mentioned for 1 and 2, it just makes it harder for you to shoot them. Now it just kind of holds them in very
一样是
awkward
触手。
哦，不会甩来甩，可是不会甩
very
来甩去
compromising。positions for you to shoot.
粘起来。
Yoga class.
Oh my god.
So now it holds them. It's applying the corrosive steel.
It looks cool.
There's been some reanimation to the
Yeah,
like they
reanimation.
reanimations.
The new stuff looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to change a lot.
所以
of
水
things
真的
to
不变成一滩
make
水真的
this,
不见了。
Working the way we wanted. It used to scale. Now it shifts. There's a whole bunch of
跟那招很
kind of
棒的
technical
说，
stuff to get sorted, but it basically means that now it really holds enemies in place. Also, if there's available tentacles and enemies enter the zone, the tentacle will kind of go out and grab them so that you can kind of keep it sort of going. It's not just on the first burst to grab them. You just can grab them over time now. And as you see, it's applying corrosive, and it's doing the maximum damage, because again, it doesn't have the charge anymore, so you don't have to hold and charge to get it going.
Tentacle swarm is no longer held, so all that has been removed.
Yeah, I think the one thing I forgot to mention on the 1 is that the old Dogman used to give corrosive. Now obviously it gives corrosive by default, so the new one gives viral, which obviously if you combine both things, it is quite it's quite crazy, but it works.
Yar.
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 Oh, an augment for the 3 heals, which used to heal by people standing on the puddle, which no one did. Now, since it's when you cast the ability, it heals you and it heals your allies in affinity range.
Puddle play is dead.
Puddle play.
Dead puddles.
Hydroid. Rework.
There it is.
Dev
There you have it.
Workshop's now live.
Exclamation point.
Yep.
Hydroid in
Yep.
Twitch chat if you would like a link to the Hydroid rework. There is
Hey.
more in depth. We got gifts. We got
两
more
个
information
零
about
食都
augments,
拿
all
到
that
了呀。
nitty-gritty stuff in the Dev Workshop.
And if
Pablo.
you could just redo the Prime trailer for Hydroid so that it doesn't start with a
that's
puddle.
me.
Oh,
That is
Yeah, I mean,
hilarious.
we're gonna need to redo.
I don't think we put puddle in it.
You did. The beginning is they're like floating in his puddle
You're
state.
right.
Yeah, I'm afraid. it's
Redo, redo,
Maybe they just-
redo.
out of here.
More
That
work
was
for
one
Jeff.
we struggled to get out
More
if I
work for
recall.
Yeah, that was.
I was out of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one that you made like a fake version of it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Joe one. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
narrated
Didn't
it.
Stallard write the VO for it?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good times, good times.
I still got trolled at TennoCon about the Hydro.
Like people came up to you and were like, "Oh, Hydroid."
I still did.
There you go.
Can never live it down.
Give away, give away, give away.
Oh yeah.
1,000 platinum.
刚那个是台主的领取外挂吗？对啊，我有装插件，可以帮我领
Longer.
Yeah, I think we only
领
have
掉
about
吧。
30 minutes left. I think we can
Cool.
do it. I think we can do it.
As we have one of the bigger
try
ones.
to rant as much as I can.
All right,
There's only like
1,000
20
platinum.
more things in my list.
We can do it.
Going to a lucky viewer by the name of, I can't read that, Jeff.
Boses_Etwas.
Boses Sangoto. Congratulations, you've won.
Yeah, that was the other one. Make us laugh.
Congratulations, you've won 1,000 platinum. Please whisper the WARFRAME Twitch channel you're watching it right now with your in-game alias platform play WARFRAME on it, and we'll get you 1,000 platinum. Congratulations. All right, we're now going to move on to the new player experience changes. QOL. Hit that slide, Dan.
姐，你拿到石头了吗？
All right, hit it from the
拿
top.
到了
This one we'll
但
just
是我
go
没
through
登
pretty
游戏。
quickly. Just under.
我拿到一红，
Generally, the
一
philosophy
红
of this
一
is
黄。
there are some rough edges around that new player experience.
Nope.
No, there's none.
Nope.
And this is basically a treatment pass on some things that we thought we could
哎，
resolve
我的
fairly
Whisper 也完全
quickly in
体
the QOL
了。
update. We wanted to make sure that we really were comprehensive with this QOL update. Therefore, we got some things for y'all. For the first up new players, flawed mods are just no longer a part of progression. So the idea that you're earning this broken mod is
Nope.
what?
No.
I wish you split that point because that has caused a lot of confusion.
Yeah,
So
but
MK1 weapons are not removed.
No.
As I just saw.
Well, no, MK1 weapons are removed from Vor's prize as a weapon you pick. They're still in the market for credits.
They'll still be in your
I'll
inventory.
keep
They're
my
not going
100
anywhere.
Forma MK1 bracket.
Oh,
I'll keep
you're
it.
They're ripping it out.
K1, come
Th-
on.
Those aren't going away.
They
Oh,
actually
boy.
exist.
They're just, when a player installs Warframe after this update, when they're picking their weapons and Lotus is like, pick your secondary, pick your melee. There's no
Is that
such
how she sounds?
kind of. A little
Maybe you should recast it.
Valley
The
Girl
rest of
Lotus
this
coming
quality of life
back.
changes.
Oh, what is that? Oh my god. We have our own boo squad here. In short, the weapons a player chooses will be the bow and the Bratton. No longer Mark 1. They will still be in the market for credits and you will still have yours. No problem. Flawed mods, however, will be removed and exchanged for the
real ones.
the real ones with some rank adjustments at the lower levels so players can actually use them early on. The only flawed mod that's not going away is the April Fool's ammo drum.
If you got that one, you keep that
Yeah,
one.
you keep more in the dev workshop if you want more.
我也是
details.
一横一滑
Early
欸。
game inbox and junction adjustments. This is just a matter of the grind to progress. Some of our junction tasks were, you know, pick up 20 mods, just some things that felt a little
赏
like if
识
you've done
哎
it，
要
once
不要
you know
打
how
一
to
打
do it, so
只有
don't make you do
23
it 20
小时。
times. So we've gotten rid of some of the quota junction tasks, let's say, where you have to do 20 of the same thing, and replace
我的 Whisper 现在强度有690，全部东西弄，全部东西都启动的话。
We've taken off the sort of to-do lists, and now there is a quest junction task there. Some other management has occurred there. Yes, sir.
So, can we keep the broken mods if you already have them and you still have them and just like
啊
don't drop them anymore?
那个上次是打什么？
Yeah, we had
Getting
to
a lot
convert
of
them.
text
You
messages.
had to convert
哎，
them?
没看。
Like so, as we had to like add like a screen that you could go to do it or something. If a player, like a brand
Take your
new,
screenshots
What's
real
it called?
quick.
History!
You're our boss. fast. You tell us what we have.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
没写任务是
Then we've also added universal enemy
一个在
radar,
虚空，一个在
which
赛
any
德那。
player
Cool.
that plays, you will have a 30-meter enemy radar as a built-in function of the game. You don't need to mod or upgrade for that.
啊，
Obviously,
可以
mods
啊，
and
来
upgrades will enhance it and make it bigger
拦
and
截
better.
跟歼
But just as
灭
a default playstyle improvement, especially for new players that don't really know the intricacies of where enemies hide in levels or visibility, it's just there.
Yeah,
Enemy-
essentially, the game plays better when you can tell where enemies are. So we didn't really want to keep gating that behind what right now is mostly animal instinct, which takes a while for a new player to get to. So we just felt like it was important to have kind of this by default, and then you can
拦
make
截
it
跟
larger
歼
if you
灭。
want with animal instinct or whatever.
来啊，打一打。
And we've reduced some issues with some quests. Wave Rider, the Ureli quest, has a rework. We've gone from
第一人才让我
25
把它打完
challenges to 15. Most of the challenges are actually combat.
当然也是一红一
With
黄。
base, we're not going to make you do a ton of tricks. If you cut to med
哦啊，
screen,
使
Danny,
用
you can kind of see page unlocks are down, and there's just simply less challenges overall. Some are a bit more combat focused. So the Ureli Wave Rider quest has
我先
been
把歼灭
reworked
打一
into what
打
it。asks of you. And then for other quest optimization, the Nata quest will trigger now if you just see an Oculist, because some players don't know that they have to equip the scanner and go scan. Once an Oculist sees you and Lotus reacts, the quest will kick off in earnest.
Oh, that one's actually not.
It's not in?
That one's gonna come
要
later.
调雅瑞丽的
We have a
系列
couple
任
for
务。
Nata.
Don't
We're
listen.
reducing the mastery rank requirement.
Don't listen to me at all.
That one's gonna come later. We
就是
are doing that one. It's just gonna come in
对
the
吗？
subsequent Whispers update.
And Vox
对，我
Solaris
说要
is
调
哦
整。
哦哦，有啦，有一个啦。
No, it has. Yeah, the overall difficulty.
啊，我就记得
A lot
有
of
说要
players
调
get。stomped in that if they go the core path.
它调蛮多
from
任务的。
Christian Venus, do Vox Solaris, and then they die and die and die and die.
And we have some other just miscellaneous ones. It's all going to be in the dev workshop if you want to check that out. And then Cetus Wisp.
Yeah, so Cetus Wisps run away from you and players don't know they're there. It's cute. They go up to the sky. They just won't do that anymore. They no longer have the fight or flight reaction. The flight, they've been deprogrammed to love you and wait for you. So Cetus Wisp will no longer flee. That was very confusing for new players. And then the Necromech acquisition changes are actually pretty substantial. The way to earn the Necromech has been heavily reliant on RNG, fighting the mechs, they drop the parts, go, go, go. We tried to improve this with our past, where we just inbox through just blueprints and use the different components. So that was step one. It helped. What's going to help a bit more is if you put the pieces on Necroloid for token exchange. So you can actually, it's basically the pity system. If you get enough matrices that you're like, oh, I haven't got the parts yet, you can turn them into buy them. So we've essentially added the RNG pity system to this. And that is a quick recap. Oh, that was fast. That's it for that.
That's beautiful. That's it.
Dev Workshop Live.
Exclamation point, new player. If you'd like a link to that dev workshop with more information about all of those changes. All right, moving right along. Next up, we have accessibility and HUD improvements workshop.
I thought that accessibility was scheduled for later up.
这是什么？
I don't know why it's coming out so soon.
敌人跟队友的那个 地
Yeah,
图
so
显示
highlight, I think that was, you know,
是吗？应
generally
该是吧。然后
the visibility
聊天
of enemies has
聊天
always
改
been
良
a very
自
dense
动进
and very
站
fast game that we have.
我还是很纳闷自动进站是什么。
A lot of players that are actually watching this are super used to it. But we have seen that a lot of people do struggle kind of spotting where enemies are.
蓝黄，
Particularly in some of the classes where
那飞是
they
蓝
match a lot the visual of the
Dark
enemy.
Grenier with a dark material,
We have an asset.
dark
We
lighting.
have an asset.
So this is what you would see or not see. Can you find the Grenier?
I can.
Can you find the Grenier?
It's easy.
Maybe he's in a puddle somewhere.
Maybe it's so with the new enemy highlighting system, bam,
highlighting 哦，
you can see and allies. You can see yourself and your allies.
Yeah, you can basically select turn on enemies, on allies, and
敌
on
人跟
yourself,
队友的强
and you can tweak the color and the
显示
intensity
强调。
on yourself and on allies.
Can you go to my gameplay real quick, Dave?
Oh, so you can highlight yourself.
Yeah,
and
this is really meant for
allies.
those that
Cool.
have,
哦，
you know, a real hard time.
可以
seeing
帮
things.
他
Like
就是
Tano Khan came up and said, you know,
让
this is one
类似卓越者特效的颜
more
色
in，this,
Oh, cool.
然后分辨
Also,
它
like,
是友
even
军还是
for
敌
me, just trying it with like a low intensity,
上那
just a
个
tiny bit
上那个
on some
轮
of
廓
the
线。
darker facets, I found
Makes
to
a big
be-
difference.
Yeah.
然后结果等一下有人把
And
两个都
choose
上
if
一
you
样的
want to
颜
highlight
色，
yourself or not, just so you're excluded from that if you don't want to be your own ally.
有意义。
yeah, I'm my own biggest saboteur. So.
Yeah, well, given your limbo history.
Oh. Anyways.
Don't look at me like that. I was scared.
You had it won. You couldn't quit.
Couldn't quit. Conservation.
Victor left.
Conservation improvements. We have a couple images for this.
We sure do, Pablo.
这追
It's
水
harder to see.
There's quite a bit of things here.
We got icons on the map.
Yep.
This is obviously
Conservation
what you
was
currently see in game now.
conversation.
It's a bit. What
It's a
are we
bit
looking at here? We got some paw prints.
We
They're
need
all
some
the
more
same.
icons.
Yeah.
Let's add more.
More.
With a
Yeah, so
highlight
the
around each.
current one adds an icon for each conservation spot, and they're all the same.
Yeah.
So the new one makes
这个不是现在就已经是这个样子了。
animal type and only shows you the nearest one of each type, so it doesn't get as crazy. Also, once you're looking at them in the map, you can actually in the interactive map, you can click on one and it'll get marked so that you can go wherever it is. So
Yeah.
that
It's really helpful because you can I can click for Mink and then I can portal to the teleporter and
Yeah.
then it's still in a waypoint. I'm like, oh, I can just go my 200 meters over there.
People are
It's
saying,
super
didn't you
helpful.
already do this? Isn't this live?
that is not live.
What is
Well,
not
this is out already.
Part
To be
of it
clear,
is, part of it
part
is.
of it is.
Part of it is out. Yeah.
The deep dive is not.
Yes. Yeah. We put out a little bit early, and then now we're doing the full scope of
Yep.
conservation updates. Speaking of, we have the trails. Better looking
Yeah, so
trails.
the trails for the footprints, that's how it was before, so this is how it looks on live. And you can see the first couple of footprints there, but as soon as it goes into the grass, it becomes impossible to see. I think of all the things, this is the main thing that people complain about. So if we look at the new version, it is
Wow.
significantly more visible, so you can track them quite a bit easier.
And all we had to do was
脚印变得比较明显。
That's all it says.
Not the goo.
radioactive.
Wow.
A couple things we
Consigned
don't
loader.
have images for. We have visual feedback when you get a roar success, and that's mostly for anyone that's hearing impaired. So you don't have to listen to roar. You have some backup there that you can look at. We have with your scope, you can actually see a little blink for the general direction that animals are in. It doesn't mark them directly, but at least you know which direction to turn to look. So basically, you don't have to kind of just guess based on the sound. And there's a bunch of other little changes here and there for that, but those are overall the main things for Saturn.
So, okay, but what if I broke my arm and I want to still play
Well,
Warframe?
we have auto melee coming to Warframe.
Oh,
So for the longest, since the dawn of time,
Coincidence.
since the dawn of time, man has yearned to harness the power of Warframe's melee. And with all of the amazing animation work that has happened in all our combos, players have been able to spam the melee button to achieve forward combos, neutral combos, any number of things. So now go ahead and spam that E button. Danny, come over to gameplay. Look at her go.
Oh, look at me go.
Look at her go.
I'm amazing.
Now,
I'm amazing.
you just held E.
Wrist, it's broken.
What if I just held E?
What if you just held?
Oh, let me just take a sip.
So, auto, yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
auto melee is as simple as it's just a feature in the game by default. You can choose to hold or you can choose to sequence steps. It is up to you. If you want to hold, hold. If you don't, don't. There's one or two caveats. I think glaives are exempt from this, and the slugs because they have the ranged combos.
Throw
So
stuff.
yeah, so you can. Someone perhaps only with one workable gaming arm could just
Wow.
hit E. That's it. That's auto melee.
That's it.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on TennoCon. There is another feature we're adding to kind of like a little extra wrinkle to this. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it polished properly on time, so we're actually going to hold out a melee rack, but don't ask me why, but we decided to push it ahead. So there is a little bit more that's going to come on the December update, but we'll talk about that when we're closer.
Yeah.
But just know that there is one more thing, because I know a lot of people are going to say,
把刀砍起来好慢哦。
Are you talking about perfect heavy attack?
Yeah, but that's not till
基础
later
攻
here.
速
We
很低的。
separated this from that. As soon as you get auto melee out.
Well, it's good to get from players who might, have a broken arm, so that they could play the game on live. Yeah.
What a world we live in. Auto melee is here. All right, and last but not least in this quality of life section, we've just updated the new update history screen. Don't do it yet.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Here we go. All right, when you log into Warframe for the first time, when an update pops, you get a little screen with your Warframe kneeling there with a big old wall of text that we do write ourselves. So please appreciate
Please
that.
read it.
Please read it. We do write that, and it is honestly just a wall of text that tries its best to summarize the update in as many less bullet points as it possibly can. But now we've updated the history screen to really show you way better at a glance, give you options to really navigate. You can go to the patch notes, you can go to the market. It's really just much.
Yeah, I'm a believer that generally no one reads. So I think just showing full images and just having like the items there and just bullet points, like we even press into like bullet points. So you can just like look at the things and just click on them and get kind of information there for all the different things. Also, this screen actually has history. So that means when you come in 2 years, you can click on it and still see every major update when we released, and you can see everything that we changed.
And because Pablo's a believer that no one reads, if you want to read more about all this, check out our dev workshop.
Exclamation point, accessibility.
Yeah, just go read about it in the dev workshop. You'll love it. You'll love it. Our team spends so long writing them, so you can spend a long time reading them.
People read, but when you sign in, I think you want to
You get excited.
You want to get in there.
Yeah, I get it.
People can read.
I'm not mad.
some of
I'm
them.
not mad.
As you can see, we put platinum items on that page, so you can just buy those cosmetics.
Who needs to read when you can just
right
shop?
when you log in.
Who needs to read?
We appreciate it.
You don't get fed if you don't buy them. They haven't let me leave the office since
You gotta pay your.
Can't fix your arm unless
That's
you.
right.
No, I'm kidding. All right, that is the end of the accessibility, quality of life workshop. We're going to move into one of the heftier ones.
Are we going to do the HUD stuff? Are you going to do the HUD icon?
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. Keep me honest.
There's a really good thing coming in the
I'm so sorry. Buffs and debuffs in the pause menu, Pablo.
Okay, I want us to walk through an Octavia player's life. You're Octavia. You're buffing your allies. You're dancing your heart out. You are hitting those BPMs. You are grinding. You are grooving. Your squad mates look over at you and say, what the hell are all these icons? You go back to your ship, you cry some more.
Yeah, so
Great setup.
yeah, basically we have a whole bunch of buffs. In fact, we checked and it's over 900 of them. So basically,
I couldn't believe that one. I was watching it, I was like, no, 900. Yep.
yeah, so there's a lot of items that often it's very hard to know what they are, especially when you're just starting the game and you're just seeing like little symbols appear. You don't know what they are. So now you can essentially press escape and they'll
你
stay
暂
there
停，你
so you
暂
can
停画
hover
面之后，
and
你可以把滑鼠移到那个 buff 跟 debuff 的图示上面，去看它的效果是什么。
终于啊！
You see the PH? They're working in
有
progress.
时候 buff 到底
整
哪来
排东西
的？
都不知道，对，
不是，
一整排东西那个
甚至有的
哪来
它
的？，
甚至有的它是，比如说像猫叫，它都同一个图，得用时间去看它到底是什么效果。如果你不是第一时间看到的话，你可能就不知道它到底是什么效果。
可是猫那个我不知道，我不知道它之后会怎么显示，因为毕竟猫它还是同一个技能，我不知道它会不会就是详细到告诉你它现在是哪一个效果。
Is, and we talked about this earlier, was the weapon trait displays in upgrades. So, good. Please. Our example today is the new Door Clef. Damn it! The new Door Clave.
Every other attempt you get it.
Oh my god. Obviously, the description exists here, and it has a bit of a passive effect to it. But it would be nice to know this information while I'm in my upgrade screen, while I'm putting my mods on. So what do we have here, Pablo?
Yeah, essentially it's kind of in the same vein. Every weapon that has a special trait, anything that would make it work different, unless you read the description, you wouldn't know about it, is now surfacing. People don't read exactly. So now at least there's something that looks different here whenever you go to a weapon. And also the descriptions in here will tend to be much more detailed, like they have actual numbers and stuff. Whereas a lot of the descriptions that you find in most weapons, actually I was surprised that these ones have numbers. Most of the times we just put like flavor stuff on those descriptions, so you have to go and check the wiki.
它这算是加强进站
So now the information will be here, so that you kind of know what's going on as you mod.
为什么20个击杀怎样？
the chat.
它
Just
就
you
是
wait.
有点像
Just
是
you
给
wait.
进站一
Alright,
个
that is the end of our accessibility
给进
dev
站一
workshop.
个
Exclamation point
小被动
accessibility, if you'd like to check
就是
all
你
that
达
out,
成那个
nitty-gritty.
条件之后，
Alright,
你
now
会
we
获
move
得
on
被
to
动，
what is the more
会获得一
hefty
些加
quality
强
of
的
life
能力。
Yeah, that wasn't even the hefty
特
stuff.
殊能力就
Are you
对
guys
了。
ready? Why don't we just
more?
let's get a word from our sponsors.
No, let's
Okay.
no, we got this.
Okay.
No, yes,
Okay.
we got this. We can't.
Okay.
I don't want to go after that. I mean, before.
All right. We're
感
getting
谢
into
九
the next
团
one, which is our
Major QOL.
major QL of system changes and general quality of life.
All right.
夜电波
First and
Big
foremost.
list. Yeah.
哦，午夜电波也有要调整。
Quickly, and then you can go
Okay.
along on the ones that need more support. Firstly, the focus lens convergence and buff. This is really just focus can be grindy. There's a lot of focus schools. If you ever wanted to complete them all, it might take some time. We've simply buffed the rate at which affinity is exchanged for focus across all lenses. Percentage increases, so you're just getting more focus. And additionally, when you use the convergence orb, it'll
没有啦，
actually
这个是调整啊，不是下一季的资讯啊，这个是调整。
distributed equally among
刚刚认知，
No,
哎
it's the same as the tracks. It
Oh,
essentially
right.
gives it to you to whatever school of focus you have selected.
刚刚
Oh,
认知到
okay,
的
so it's not
巡
just
回，
okay. And then yeah, just lenses
然
give
后
more
加
focus.
加入那个
The main reason
不
for the
要
problem is sometimes you
紫卡
find yourself in
不是啊
situations where
加
it
入紫
appears
卡作为
there's
奖
no
励。
enemies around because you just
Oh.
cleared a wave or whatever, and it can be very
这样算
frustrating.
好
So
吗？
now you get like a little extra just
我
from picking
不
it up.
知
So
道哎，
它不是重点是代替掉什么东西？现金吗
Speaking of candy, shields.
没讲啊。
shields.
Yes, so this is actually going to be
可能
the biggest
可能变成
section, I
紫
think,
卡
to
是
discuss, and
那
why
个
don't you do it?
奖池之一吧，
Under the bus.
No, it's fine.
随机的
Yeah, so
随机
shields
出现在
basically,
那个波次的
shields have
奖池
always
之一
been。like less preferred than health and armor. You know, most people don't put in redirection, things like that. And we felt like they needed some love. Right now, you're bizarrely incentivized to have lower shields so that shield gate can activate faster, which really kind of works against kind of what you would expect, that having more shields should make shields stronger. So we're doing several changes. Starting with shield gate will now scale based on how many shields you have. So if you're around 350 shields, 360, something like that, you have the exact same shield gate duration as you have on live right now. Anything above, it grows all the way to 2.5. I think the one in live right now is 1.33. You can get all the way to 2.5 if you have larger shields. So that means that shield gate duration can actually last quite a bit. Not only that, but right now, the way it works in live, if you have regenerated 1% of your shields or 99% of your shields, you get the same shield duration, the bottom one. We changed it so now it actually grows linearly. So if you're at 50% shields, you're going to get half the shield gate duration and not just the lower one. So you basically have, it is way better protection now.
Yeah,
too.
it would incentivize you to consider investing in shield regen and a bigger shield capacity.
The other change that came with that is right now shields on the live build diminish all damage taken by 25%. We bumped that up to 50%, so essentially you now have a 33% bonus there of damage received. And the main reason for that is sometimes shields feel like paper and they just kind of disappear very quickly. So we just want to make them a little more resistant.
And this applies to companion shields as well, which is why the EHP buff may have felt very large, and that's because shields now mitigate more damage, just as a stat.
Obviously, for anyone that uses the famous Decaying Dragon key, you can think of yourself, well, if it scales with the size of my shields, that means the Decaying Dragon key no longer works. And that is true. The Decaying Dragon key strategy is pretty bad now. So what we did is we basically made it into, we did the classic make a change into a feature. So we now have a mod that essentially does what the old Dragon key did. Sets your shield gate to 1.33 because it's exactly what we have on live, and it reduces your shields by to 25% of what they were. So it essentially does the same, but now you have to pay a mod slot for it.
Yeah, and I think for that, we are giving the mod away for an alert for the week after launch. So Dagoth will launch that new mod, which is a corrupted mod. It will be put in the corrupted vaults where you get your other corrupted mods, but for 1 week, up for free in an alert completely.
You can go to my screen, my gameplay real quick, Danny. There it is. Catalyzing shield.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
And I think a big reason for this is the best way to survive in Warframe, as we continue to make this game shouldn't be use a gear item from 10 years ago that reduces your shields because we added shield gating 3 years ago, and both those things happen to work really well together. I love that. I love that players figured it out, but it's not intuitive at all, and it's not very accessible, and it honestly can be a little. It's off-putting. Like, hey, the best way to survive is to use this gear item that happens to work, which is cool. Like, emergent gameplay is cool, and I love that. But we want it to formalize it, ratify it, and make it a true intended shields are actually good system versus
天实况是2小时，
and get rid of them. So.
The last thing is,
大概他只有说比较长，但多久他没有讲。
The delay.
Yeah.
So before you still had the same delay, so those shield regions a lot of times just didn't feel the impact. Now it does both, so you basically get your shields back faster. So hopefully that'll make them, I know a lot of veterans that have all the things might laugh at me in thinking that they would ever use them, but I think for some people, with these changes, they will actually be useful.
Yeah.
We're going to go a little bit out of order on that, but we're going to go to Warframe level up stats.
Yeah, okay, so this one is
Pop quiz.
yeah.
We have a pop quiz for it.
This one is
Yeah.
both a gigantic change and a change that you
他调宝的时间确实是写2点到4点呢，所以他至少会开到4点呢。
Okay,
so
you're good at math.
Wow.
Tell me.
your rank 30 Excalibur has 300 health. You add a vitality mod with 440% health. How much health do you have?
This makes my eyes. This makes me cross my eyes. Yep.
So if you've ever played Warframe, you know that the
对啊，
answer
他写
is
2点到4，他的调宝是2点到4点，所以他至少一定会开到4点。 他不可能提早关。
But the reality is that that percentage applies on the number of the health number that you had at rank 0, which is not a number you see for long.
等一下我们去吃完早餐的时候，你记得提醒我买一包口香糖，
Understand the why
要口香糖来
for
提神。
anyone that's just starting the game. So what we did is
我
we
会
changed
带
it
2
so
包
that the
零
level up
食。
stats now apply
可以提神
directly
的吗？
to the base. So that means any mods that you put on grow
你有在
the
搅
base,
东西，其实就不
that
太会想
entire
吃。
stat. Obviously, that means that we cannot keep vitality at 440%, or it would be insane. So we kind of redid all the numbers, not only to simplify that, but
那
also
你那个
to
你说
raise
吃
the floor.
吃饭那个离
What
你
that
家
means
很近
is
吗？
when you don't have mods, you're now a little
近啊。
higher on health.
所以我到时候
but then
去也
with
是
the
停
mods,
好
you
车
basically
之后
end up
走路去
kind of
吃
the
还是
same
怎样？
place.
没有啦，直
So
接
you
开车
can
走
see in that
了。
example, you have the old health.
然后到时候就开到你家
200,
楼下，
370, the armor
再下来。
grew by 15, and then the shields grew by 70, and essentially a rank 30 Excalibur with no extra mods has 36% more EHP. But then if you put on the max mods, if you put all the Vitality, Redirection, and the Steel Fiber, you basically only end up 7% higher. And the main reason for that 7% is the change we talked about earlier, where shields now absorb more damage.
Yeah, it's not actually a statistical change in the raw numbers, it's a damage mitigation change. However, to be clear, if we've done our job right here, you probably won't notice anything, except easier.
It'd be clearer.
Yeah, it'll just be clearer.
Yep.
That's the goal. Yeah, so flow, yeah, people are saying prime flow is going to be crazy now. It is not, you're not getting a prime flow multiplier on your max tank of gas. It's just,
这该不会是那个
always
吧
aligned to your base rank 0 energy.
破损 mode 的改动
Couldn't
吧？
see anymore
couldn't
because you were
see.
不是
once
不是
rank
不是
30. Yeah.
So
不然
now
这
that
是
it's
什么？
applying to the final number, which is a much larger number, then the percentage can be smaller, and basically you end up around the same place, but everything is clearer now, and also elevates the floor, like I was saying. So any of the things you didn't mod, then you have higher, right? So
Yeah. People are saying it's Warframe's first stat squish. Like, no, it's just
It's a clarity pass.
it's a
I think.
clarity
it's a
pass.
clarity
Yeah.
pass,
Like
Yeah.
Reb said, you shouldn't notice anything, but
他
it
是
will be
他
much
他
clearer
只是
that
在
your
讲
health, shield, and like
就
those
是有
values
做一
should
些
be
那
much
个
clearer at a glance what you're
那个
Yeah, we might need to do a clarity video on that because if people see lower numbers on their mods,
yeah, but at the same time,
战甲的
if
那
you
个
actually are more into
等
like
级
the
提升的那
the
个
maths, all
能
the
力
kind
值
of
啊，
counting of things.
然后还有
And
那个
that's
mod
like bigger,
显示
like
的
our
问
prime version,
就是
for
那个
example,
mod
now are
能力的
stronger because the
数
bases
字的
are
计算
stronger.。So there's some
哦，要
winners
什么
there.
数字差那么多？
The
对
convergence point That's for that where kind of.
因为他刚刚就举例啊，
So if you
就
start higher and you end up at the same time,
那
that means there's
个
a point that you kind of start
那
going
个
lower.
战甲
That
300
point
血，
is,
然后加的那个
two Umbra mobs
生命力
at max.
440%， 请问他血量是多少？
Just
答
for
案是
more
740啊。
The
nerdy.
Dev Workshop
这很
has
奇怪
a
啊。
lot of maths in it if you are interested
Yes,
in
every
looking at that.
Warframe is statted out for you in there.
Yep.
All 53.
Oh, you know what I didn't mention on the companion one?
Oh my god.
So obviously, what you just saw also doesn't affect companions because
Companion ranks were so crazy.
yeah, the companion ranks were insane. So companions no longer have ranks, by the way, but they were
Stats
fine.
that scale with ranks,
It's
to be
not-
clear. They still have ranks for your mod capacity. They just don't have scaling stats.
Because only a few of them had it.
Yeah.
It was
那他甲的血量又要变高了吗？
Link Vitality,
对
they had
啦。
Link Vitality, but they also had the Vitality. I think it was called Enhanced Vitality.
Correct.
Enhanced Vitality was really bad compared with Link Vitality. There were no real
就
scenarios.
是要
where
越
it was
高越
there.
好。
So now we bumped that up, and it's changed in a way that.
It's in the Dev Workshop.
I was saying that was okay.
Yeah.
Sure is.
We have run out of
It's
time.
useful sometimes.
Some mods are good sometimes. The Warframe promise.
Sometimes not. We make them useful. All right, we're going to move on to break armor missions. If you're
Right.
you feel good about
Yep.
that, okay. Moving on to break armor missions, we have some general quality of life changes.
Oh,
as we put
quality
it.
of
Oh,
life.
Taylor!
It
Taylor!
hurts. It hurts.
I'm gonna literally write or say what Taylor wrote because it's amazing.
Which she mentioned, shout out to Scott, who submitted them in
Oh,
Perforce, as
okay.
if Call was writing his own Perforce CL. It
Okay.
is so
Scott
funny.
did that?
Scott Mellinson.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Yeah, like he wrote his,
In character,
he
check
wrote
in.
it. Yeah, it's
Oh
so
my
good.
God,
Or
okay.
like inspired by. Sorry, Scott, I didn't
Alright.
mean to call you out there. You're the best.
So our quality of life changes for the break armor missions are Call see more. Call now has loot radar and enemy radar. Call go fast. Call's max speed and overall walking speed has been increased. Call earn stock. We've added stock pickups to break armor missions, and Call will now find additional weapons next to his fallen brothers as a way to add more variety to overall gameplay.
Nice.
Yep, that's it.
A little bit of a lift for our break armor players.
Yeah, I'll just elaborate a little bit on the stock one, just because I know that's going to be a little more tricky. Essentially, if you guys, whenever you play a Cal mission, you're often like looking around for pickups or whatever to find them. So obviously now you have the loot radar, so that will make it easier. But even when you don't find one, now you'll find a little crate with a tiny bit of stock, just so that you get something when you're looking around, and you don't feel like you just went down a corridor and got nothing for it. Essentially, that's kind of the
Yep.
vibe of it.
Yep, there's 5 stock pickups per mission. All right, moving on. Nightwave changes.
Yeah.
Nightwave.
Nightwave changes.
Juan just blitz through those.
I'll
We're
blitz.
running low on time.
3, 2, 1. We're adding 3 permanent weekly acts intended to be unlocked with regular Warframe gameplay. For the next series, we've done a complete act audit with the goal of reworking, removing, and adding new challenges to the system. Acts are getting changes that we felt reasonable to do.
So there is a Dev Workshop on this.
There is a Dev Workshop that will list it all out to reduce the grind, to complete some acts, and expand in the ways players can actually complete them. And for the first time when you
终
log
究
into the
谈不
weekly
下
series, you'll have one that
72K
pops up. You're gonna
别
get a screen
讲
that
啊
highlights，
一
at
堆
a
人都
glance
谈不
what
下
happened
来，好不
for
好
you.
Pictures, so you don't have to read it.
No reading.
No reading necessary.
Yeah, so the TLDR there is permanent acts are in addition to everything else, and those are ones we think you can earn in the natural state of play just to make your life a bit easier to progress in Nightwave.
Sorry, no, they replace some weaknesses.
Well, yes, but they're just always there.
Yeah, they're always there. And the main idea is like we still like the Nightwave kind of makes you go to different parts of the game, but we thought it was too much that all the acts do that. So now 3 of them are basically things that you're gonna get just by playing normally, completing
cool.
missions, killing enemies, and whatever. So you'll basically get a little bit just from playing, and then the other ones are like
12K 就是要
essentially
故
things that
意
make you go and
就是故意要让扛不下的直接两去，也没有啊，因为其实大多数都扛得下来啊，一个护盾闸就可以轻松扛住。
Yeah, like we can't change Nightwave.
我们只是想搞事，所以才想要才想要用非无敌的方式来硬。
Changes that'll be coming in this update to current acts that just kind of change the requirement for them. So instead of getting 10 of this, you gotta just get 5, stuff like that, just to kind of reduce it.
Yeah, I have in the notes that we removed 12 acts that we saw feedbacks as not being fun. We reduced the requirements on around 25 of them, and there will be 14 new acts.
Yeah, so the reduced requirement ones will be in this update. Other ones when we do the next Nightwave.
The
Yeah,
next
which will be this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Damage
attenuation.
I'll just take this one pretty quickly. This is only in the context of Archons and Archon hunts. We do have damage attenuation, aka damage pillows, on these boss units, which lead to like kind of two paths. If you don't have the build that one-shots them, you're usually, I think you like to say, chopping wood.
Yep.
You know, you're just shooting away, waiting for the damage pillows to kick in.
Oh man.
What we've done with the initial goal was sometimes you can be in an Archon fight for 25 minutes, depending on if you're playing with people that don't really know the meta. So we've just taken the damage pillow. If you like, this is a visual metaphor. Right now, it's like it lets this much damage in over the attenuation, and we've kind of made it like that. So we've just made it so that you'll be doing more damage to Archons more frequently. The intention is to shave off, on average, if you're not using your one-hit builds, shave off the time it takes to complete an Archon run. This dev workshop, it will be live after this. It'll go through how it's going to impact the spread of ways that you deal damage to the Archons, because right now, criticals roll after the damage attenuation. It's just kind of all over the place. So we're just, widening the gap so that people with high rate of fire weapons, with other things, can do more damage. The pillows have essentially just been blasted to be more damage gets in. Damage is calculated to try and make them go faster for players that, find them a little too long. And that's basically it.
Basically it. All right. We'll move right along to barrel scaling. Pablo, you made a lovely video for us.
Is that
didn't
even
you?
on this?
No, it's
Barrel
not.
scaling? Oh my god. Okay,
But
this
it
is
is.
actually going to save Warframe. This is
it.
This is the one we've been waiting for.
Before, barrels were the worst. Enemies would laugh at your barrels. Look at them laughing. They see your barrels, they don't care.
Oh,
But now they care.
They
Dead.
do care.
They scale.
Yeah, so basically, it's essentially that. The barrels were just kind of for funsies before, because they didn't really do enough damage to have any impact to enemies. So now they do.
等一
and
下，
it
那个
depending
爆
on
炸
how close
筒
the enemies to
变
the
这样
barrels,
子。
sometimes they insta kill, as you're seeing there. If they're a little further away, they take a lot of damage, but they don't fully die.
Yeah, so we'll be expecting barrel montages after this update releases. We want to see your best barrel deaths.
yeah. Take your barrel before videos now. We'll compare notes in October.
Yeah, who knows what kind of gas is in those barrels, am I right?
They mock me, but I actually really care about this stuff because I find like interactive things like that in levels are really cool.
Oh, they're great.
They're
yeah.
great. This is the best.
Enemy scaling.
The best
Yeah.
day ever.
People
That's so
love
great.
barrel frame. This is perfect.
Barrel frame.
All right, going back to that comment we saw earlier about incarnate evolutions. If you're involved in the incarnate system, you know that you pick a perk and you're set with that perk for life. You're locked in.
Forever.
Now you're not.
Yeah, we basically made it
Gameplay,
so
Danny?
at least swapping them around, you can now do directly in the arsenal, so you don't have to go to Caballero to swap them around. You still have to go to Caballero to unlock, to install your incarnate adapter. Essentially anything that's like an actual progression
可以直接在
of
军械库改
of the incarnate
进化
system.
能
You
力。
still have to visit Caballero for him to help you out with this. But just to swap them around, you can now do it directly here at your convenience.
Do the barrels do friendly fire?
They do friendly fire, but it's extremely reduced. So you basically it's not impossible for you to murder
Scaling
yourself.
Gotta be a
Fire.
gamer. Gotta be a gamer. Speaking of being a gamer, if you are a gamer, you might have gone through Steel Path Circuit and gotten all your incarnates. So what's next for you? What else can you acquire?
Well, if you're
What
rank
do?
9 in the Duviri opportunity, whoosh, there's new rewards.
Not gonna lie, I picked mine already. Sorry, Pablo.
对啊，
Yeah, so basically you can you get all the options for incarnates just as usual. But if you want, if you unlock that particular intrinsic, you can now select a ribbon instead, a ribbon or two instead. Basically, there's the three main types appear there for you to choose. So
Oh.
you have something to do once you
哦，
went
你
through all
如
the incarnate
哦
adapters
是
that you
5阶
have
跟
to-
Yep.
10阶，你可以
That's it.
选
We're done.
可以选
That
那个
part.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
紫卡。
Did we say anything? You good?
I have a few.
Give her. Go. No, I love it.
What do you got?
What do you got?
We did a pass on mod description revisions. Basically, we changed about 50 mod descriptions to be more clear. Just things that were kind of
Awesome.
confusing about how they worked before. 50 plus all the Bane mods also got touched, so it's a bunch of different mods that got updated. The finisher types. So basically, there's a lot of things like decrease and things like that, or an augment for in arrows that was tied to finishers that wouldn't trigger from mercy finishers or from ground finishers. Basically, we had like a distinction between finisher, ground finisher, and mercy finisher. So now all of those would respond to the same. Basically, they would trigger the same events, and also ground finishers will now deal true damage. So they're quite a bit stronger.
It's a shame you changed Hydroid's passive that doesn't knock him down anymore.
Yeah, maybe
Reverse,
that's
reverse.
now you're missing.
No longer get ground.
And that's it.
All right. Exclamation point system QOL if you would like a link to the dev workshop.
That's like legit impressive, guys.
What do you think?
That's
Are you
crazy.
sweating over there? You enjoy
This is actually,
yourself?
we're being reviewed right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
They're
That's
reviewing
wild.
our work.
Please.
So.
I love
Keep
the
job.
person in chat. Actually, I don't. He was like, "Game should have shipped this way." Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
afraid
10
to
years
say
ago.
it doesn't. It's hard
Just wait
to
till
it doesn't quite work that way, my friend.
You can't rework Hydroid if Hydroid
It
doesn't
exist.
exist.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very difficult.
I think the clarity is great, and the changes
Yeah,
of
it's
scaling.
really
I'm
impressive.
very curious what will happen with builds with the changes of shield.
Yeah,
it
the
seems
shield thing,
very significant.
It is quite significant.
Yep.
And yeah.
We will obviously be watching and monitoring when this goes out. Love your constructive feedback. I know we just put out 5 developer workshops, and I understand that's a lot. So if you just want a link to the developer workshop forums, you can do exclamation point workshop, and you can just see
And
them
this
all
comes
at a
out.
glance.
It comes out next
All
year?
of this comes out October 18th.
October 18th.
No way.
Oh my
It
God.
can't come out that
Wait,
soon.
but wait, do you know what else?
There's more.
There's more.
There can't be.
Guys,
There
we're not
is more.
done.
I'm
We're not
overwhelmed.
We're not done. Also coming with the Abyss of Dagoth update on October 18th is Grendel Prime.
It has been so long. Our sweet baby Grendel.
Come on over to yeah. Oh, there he is.
So cool.
Oh, look at those tusks, baby. Look at those tusks.
Oh my God, he looks so good. He is getting a Prime trailer, which will be launching closer.
Looking fun.
And it's looking very fun.
Yeah.
So we got Grendel Prime. Coming with Grendel Prime is the Xylock Prime, of course, and even more, of course, it's the potato on a stick, the Masseter Prime.
I'm so glad this
Look at that.
this weird weapon
Look
got made.
at it
It
go.
is the most insane, intricate melee weapon we
it's
have.
amazing,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's like a
Literally
rototiller. I love it.
Yeah, it is
so good.
So many
potato.
times I tried to get this.
Also coming with Grendel is a Prime Syndana, the Sumba Prime Syndana,
it's amazing.
and the ephemera
sweet.
that you saw earlier is the Oni Prime ephemera, which is very dainty for our boy Grendel. I think it looks incredible.
No,
It's
so
incredible.
good, yeah.
And I also have some more fashion frame. Do you guys want to see it?
Yes.
Okay, wait, don't
you're
look at
making
this
me
one
nervous
though.
now.
Don't look at this
That's
one.
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yep. It works
Come
for me.
on,
It works
Jeff.
for me. Jeff
Yeah.
is pausing though,
It
but it
actually
works for me.
It looks like Midna colors from Twilight Princess. Is that what it is?
My girl. My girl. Actually, don't know what to say. Oh, this was just like we can play the random colors. Wow.
Oh my God.
Okay. Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Keep hitting.
he looks
Ooh,
incredible.
okay, that's more my
Knew you.
style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
there
come
he is.
on.
There he
Come
is.
on.
But I did do a little bit of fashion frame with that Oni ephemera because it honestly is very tasteful on a lot of frames. What do we think of her?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that works. That works well.
Skyers drew an Ivara Prime on my cast.
Oh,
This is girl.
that's awesome.
This is the one frame that Skyers complimented me on, and I'll never stop saying that.
Oh, thanks, Skyers.
So anyways, Oni ephemera works on some really nice ones, and then another one of my favorites, sorry, it's just Gauss with the deluxe skin. He go fast, look at him
that
go.
looks so good.
Look at him go, Jeff.
The skin looks amazing.
Target language.
Do you remember when
I do like the skin a
Do you remember when
lot.
Homer made the makeup gun for Marge?
Well, I'm offended. Anyways, Grendel
Makeup
Prime
gun.
and all of those Prime additions will be coming with the Abyss of Dagoth update.
Yeah, so the day that update launches on all platforms, you'll be able to get your hands on all those changes, those 5 dev workshops, the brand new frame, the new abyssal beacons, treasure map, ghost ship, syndicate missions, Dagoth's dojo room, the frame herself, and then obviously Grendel Prime is launching. So if you want to support us with a Prime access purchase with that meaty update, it'll be there for you.
Ooh, meaty
Grendel,
update. I like it.
the meatiest update.
Let's do 1,000 platinum before we talk about cross save, shall we?
Ooh, talk about cross save.
Talk about
There are no deluxe skins in this update.
no, next update, Sevagoth
Yeah,
Deluxe.
and when we get to the dev stream to talk about that,
You're excited?
breaking news about that.
Is it the? No, I actually don't know.
Breaking news.
About the Sevagoth Deluxe skin.
Oh,
It's
okay.
almost so cool.
Is it the fish?
It's too cool.
No, it's not the fish.
No.
I shouldn't have
Stop,
said
stop,
anything.
stop.
Yeah, it's really
1,000
cool.
platinum has gone to Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Danny, is that
Danny,
you?
Danny,
2007.
Congratulations, you have won 1,000 platinum. Please whisper the WARFRAME Twitch channel you're watching right now with your in-game alias, platform and play Warframe, and we'll get you your 1,000 platinum, Danny 2007. All right, show that asset that you know and love from Tenno Live. We did announce on Tenno Live that cross-platform save is coming in 2023. That is still the goal. That is still the plan.
It's
that
still
is still what we're-
2023.
It is
Still
still
2023.
2023. Also mentioned during Tunnel Live is that we were going to have some behind-the-scenes code that is in Abyss of Dagoth that is going to lead to the rollout of eventually cross-save. And one of those things is the clan system and how that's going to function overall.
Yes, we're doing a merge so that we have, a single source of truth for clans and social under the hood, and the Dagoth update will unify that.
Yes.
And there will be something the players notice, so I assume that's what we're going to talk
That's
about.
what I was about to
Okay,
say.
you go right ahead.
For the Abyss of Dagoth update, we are adding cross-play clans. So if you opt in, that's going to let you invite players from other platforms to join your clan. It also shows if you have a clan advertisement on other platforms, they can see it, they can request to join your clan cross-play. Now I know this is a cross-play feature, but like you said, it's part of a much larger initiative behind the scenes for cross-save when it comes to clans and comes to dojos. So there will be behind-the-scenes code involved in that is going to result in things later on, but this is kind of the first step
Yeah,
as
gotta
we
hoist and
Yeah.
move things around. We have nothing to share on trading or merging right now. We're going to need more time to give you the true facts versus what we think we are going to do. So.
Is the cross play friends stuff isn't in this one either, is it?
I thought the friends list was.
I thought the friends
That
might
might be-
be.
It's at least setting the stage for it. Like
Yes.
we are.
I've seen it being tested
Plans
anyway,
are,
right?
yeah, it is
Yep.
being tested right now.
Yep.
Cross-platform friends
Yeah.
is being tested right now.
Yep.
It will be coming. I'm not sure if it's in this update, but
Yep.
we need this update to get there.
Yep.
So that's the point.
making
Yep.
steps. We are making steps.
Yep.
All right. Shall we do a Wisp Prime access
Yeah.
before we move on
Yeah.
to what's next? Wisp Prime access.
I don't know. Any news on Warframe for Android? Nope. Can't wait. My
PC
PC is moist and ready.
You must be a Hydroid player.
Check your
Not in a
cooler.
puddle though.
Check your
Oh,
cooler.
no puddle.
Yeah, no puddle, Pablo.
No problem. RIP.
RIP. All right, Wisp Prime access is going to the lucky Twitch viewer of, I can't read that.
Drag Thorth.
Drag Thorth? Sound like I had a list.
Drag Thorth.
Drag Thorth.
Drag Thorth.
Underscore.
Congratulations, you won a
Drag
Wisp Prime.
Thorth underscore.
You've won a Wisp Prime access. Please whisper the Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now with your in-game alias platform and play Warframe on, and we'll get you your Wisp Prime access. Hey, in the next step stream, it'll be Grendel Prime.
Hey!
All right. There's a reason why these two individuals are here. We have a
We're
word
here
from
to
our
just have fun.
sponsors.
I thought we were.
快结束了。
She's so cool, eh?
I've seen lots of that.
I know you have.
Yeah.
有网友准时上，
We're
应
excited.
该
I'm
不
just
会
very
延期
curious
吧？应该是不会啦，毕竟这东西还要测试，
Slowly life changes.
所以还好。
Will you guys join my clan? No. Okay. And now a word
Depends on
from our
colors.
sponsors.
Soulframe. Take it
Wow.
away,
Oh my
boys.
god, that is so outrageous.
这样真的有留个时段给 Soul Friend，是不是还要来这边
Yeah, we're
分食 Warframe 的客群。
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, but you funded this stuff.
Do you
Oh,
have
did
gummy
I?
worms?
Yeah,
No.
you don't give me the worms back.
You get the worms.
Okay, here you go.
Danny?
You caught them that time.
God.
We don't have a lot to say about Soulframe, but we have a little bit to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's it going? You put the music video live.
If you go to our
yes.
YouTube page,
Exclamation point SF Music will take you right there. Look at that.
So the beautiful song at the climax of our live demo at TennoCon.
刚刚在讲战甲
a lot of people
数
requesting
值
the song,
计算那里啊，
so
它
you can get it
那
today.
就是
Loop
那
it
一个
on YouTube.
那一个
Please
段
go
落
listen. It is beautiful.
Please go
官
listen
方已经有
and,
po 文
you
了，
know,
就是
what
细
did they say?
节的
Smash the
文字
buttons
这样
on。the smash
然后
Yeah,
在那一段，
crush the
他
buttons
开头
between
就
your
写
thick
说，
thighs.
如果你有深入去
And,
研究
we're
那
gonna put
个
up, I think we have an
那
animation.
个 mod 配置的话
Yeah.，
你可能对于窝份数学会非常熟悉。
kind of the progress of the game.
Yeah.
Can I give insight too?
Progress of the game, you say.
没有，
And
就
Yeah.
if you
就
want,
就
there's
怎么讲，
some people just are like, shut up and tell me when
非
the
常
game's
有那
out.
个感觉。
Obviously, this channel's not going to be for you because
我们
we're
在
a bit of ways out.
每次在配
working on
配
this
mod
stuff.
的时候，算数学算到要疯掉了。
哦，正常
When
的
is。this game coming?
When is
对
this free game?
然后因为他之前 像生命力那些 mod， 它加那440%是加 Warframe 0等的时候的数值去算，所以他刚举例是说 Warframe， 他举例是说那个咖喱棒，它基础血量是100，然后加440%变成是440，因为它30等的时候血量是300。所以才会变740。可是如果你直观去看的话，你300加440%怎么会是740？
对啊，算起来就很奇怪。
对，所以他们之后不搞这个，他们就是用 Warframe 当前的数值，然后去算 mod 的。所以它的像生命力，它就把440改成100%。所以之后就是看你的 Warframe 满等是多少血，上生命力之后就是2倍。
那这样按原本的计算方式是变多还是变少，还是不变？
他们的讲法是说会尽量让最后的结果跟现在的结果是一样的。
尽量。
对，尽量。
The beta tag on Warframe was a joke. Well, this alpha tag is not a joke. And so I think this is going to be PC first. But obviously, the game is going to be on many platforms. But during this prelude phase, just for the iteration time, we're going to be inviting small groups of people to come in and give us feedback on really simple stuff like, how does the melee combat work? The parry system. You can run through. You'll be able to run through what is essentially what you saw in the TennoCon demo and play that boss fight and explore the Undercity and take a look at the Midrath Isle. Play some songs and meet little Avocot, our little sneezing plant sprout folk,
helping us test out some loops.
So again, if you don't want to see how the sausage is made and see a whole bunch of like broken whip stuff, this is definitely not something.
排版前先拍照等出来也不用啊，那东西算了就算得出来。而且比对其实也还好，没什么意义，因为也怎样都不可能改回去啊。所以比对倒是还好。应该说意义不大，我只是想知道到底这个改动会不会有很大的影响。
If you sell this on eBay.
We're going to do a Soulframe key Twitch picker. Now, it's obviously not going to do anything right now for you, but we will get you to whisper us. We'll get your email. We'll get it all sorted out so that you will be in that alpha.
Is it going to be multiplayer?
Yes. So
Player
King X47 the first.
Wow! Alright, very important.
The first, I can't
Come
believe
on,
it.
really?
That's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Please whisper. The Warframe Twitch channel you're watching right now, we need your email. We're going to chat with you. We'll get all the information we need from you, and then we'll obviously be in connection with you when it gets closer to this alpha.
That's right. And again, if you were a console player, my apologies. The cert stuff does kind of make it a bit of a barrier for us to do this kind of Preludes prototype. So this is going to start on PC, and then we're going to open it up to more platforms. Obviously, our intention is to be on those consoles as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to. I mean, we started talking about how happy TennoCon made us just to be back in person with our community. We're really it's October next week, and we have a great Warframe update. Soulframe is going to be kicking off with this pre-alpha.
And then, the correct number.
Of course, we will have a October dev stream and a November dev stream, both of which will be looking towards Whispers in the Walls, which is releasing this year for Warframe as well. So you're getting a content drop in October, and then the next major one will be in December, probably. Don't quote me.
Did you see the YouTube tonight?
没有啦，战甲，它这个改动之后，战甲的能力也会缩一条。
所以他才反正就是他会先以 mod 同样的基础的状态下去调整战甲，这样让它的最终的结果趋近于相同状态。那还不错。
Danny, do you mind just doing the Abyss of Dagoth?
感谢追随。
The big and we'll just really quickly recap.
Oh my God, people are gonna want shield blessings now. For
legendary people. Progress. All right, just to recap everything we just talked about, not Soulframe. Update 34, Abyss of Dagoth, launching October 18th. Our 54th Warframe, her new melee weapon, the Clave, whatever. Dagoth, whatever. Alt helmet, Kate cosmetics, dojo room. We got void shell skins. We got Knights of Nabra stuff. All of that quality of life that you listen to us talk about, show you, is all coming. Those reworks are all coming. Grendel Prime and all that great stuff. So that is all October 18th, coming to you live, all platforms. We'll see you then for that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a crazy update, and I want to thank the team because
哦，沙皇 P， 沙皇 P 它原本的零等的血量是575，改动之后会变成2015，然后满等的话会变原本从2300改成3015。
Yeah, and people have been making just incredible decisions and contributions to the team, so very happy to see everyone working together to give the community some cool updates. It's been a great time, and I'm very happy, and I hope everyone.
那沙皇的血应该是
October is going to be a big month. 10 VIP see in Vegas if you're there. We got QuestCon the Cancer campaign. Lots of streams coming your way. We got the big update coming, so October is going to be a juicy month. And I'm
How
excited.
juicy? Bursting?
No, disgusting.
Will it be bursting with juice?
All right, that's it for us. See you in 2 hours for prime time. Thank you.
It's actually true. It's actually true.
Why don't we just keep going?
No,
Stay
let's
here.
not,
Oh wait,
no.
people are saying how we're gonna get God for Prime. Barrow will have it eventually.
Oh,
Barrow
sir,
is
yes.
here.
I had that noted, and I completely doesn't.
I got you.
Barricatire will have the Gopher Prime, as he usually will have the TennoCon items. All right, that's finally it. Jeff, thank you for being here. Steve, thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
Great shirt.
Oh,
Reb,
thank
thanks
you.
for being here. Great hat.
Yep.
Pablo, thanks for being here and wearing
Nice pants. Nice
Danny, thank you for running the stream.
Danny, catch!
Danny.
Oh my God. All right, we will see you in 2 hours for prime time. Bye, everybody.
结束了。
然后我们再过几个小时后要开 Prime Time。还不错啊，内容看起来还行，我觉得。好啦，我们
如果你以 Naros 为举例的话，他的血会变多啦。他本来现在上生命力是就不上010，只上生命力的话是4830啊。满等改版之后，满等的2倍就会变成是6000多。
哦。
所以还是要看那个战甲它本身的那个数值调整。
好啦，各位，我们要关台啦，我等下去准备行李啦。来，应该等到宜兰之后，我再看看要不要开户外台吧。应该也是早上大概9点10点的时候吧，我们在打靶的时候，啊，后面就看其他的行程。好啦，我们今天的开发者实况先到这边，感谢大家收看，我们下周见，拜拜。